Last we left off, the party had just made their way back to Shinebright after their exploits at the Church of the Rock. A few secrets were shared, a few decisions made. The party reconvened at the end of the night and discussed their next move, as well as some startling ideas based on Dorn's decision to leave the Cloaked Rangers, and his spying on the commander of the Cloaked Rangers, Commander Light, whom Doran saw vanish from his office shortly after he had left. The idea that the commander wasn't entirely who they thought he was, or that he was somehow not entirely on their side, was floated around, but the conversation was quickly overtaken by paint. The party wanted paint.
I now remember what happened last week.
Paint. They talked a lot about paint. Much to my dismay. Regardless, the following day, with the new ideas in mind and permission to have their own home built in Shinebright, they set out for the old Cloaked Rangers headquarters on the commander's quest in order to greet Pretian forces upon their arrival. Upon the group's arrival at the old headquarters, however, the party discovered it was occupied. Some plans were floated around, including but not limited to acting like gods. This campaign really has come full circle. Finally, the party landed on the idea of 6 moving in invisibly and absolutely fucking shit up while everybody else teleported onto a nearby roof within the headquarters. The plan worked really, really well. Until, that is, Alistair jumped down from the rooftop he had teleported onto and was assaulted by rats of all shapes, sizes, and levels of anger. 6 mauled what was ostensibly the lead rat invisibly. Doran flung powerful spells left and right. Alistair toyed with some of the rats and dealt a few blows, and Bess saved a life or two. Eventually, the entire headquarters was secured, as every rat was either dead or trapped within an invisible barrier Doran had created, which will last just under 10 minutes longer. And this is where we're going to pick up, as the party has a little under 3 hours, probably. Let me check here. Yeah, about 3 hours to prepare for the Pretian forces as they see fit, deal with the rats they have captured, and hopefully take a breather after a battle well fought. Alistair is nowhere to be seen, but the rest of you, how would you like to proceed as one glowing rat lies unconscious in Doran's field, and another slashes ineffectively against the wall of force?
If Alistair was there, he'd laugh.
How do we want to proceed? A voice in my head is telling me we should figure that out.
Well, we could try talking to them.
Can you understand me? I yell at the rat.
The glowing one is lying unconscious on the ground, and the non-glowing one is just slashing ineffectively at this invisible barrier, and you yell, "Can you understand me?" And he looks over at you, and he just rushes towards you with his blade and just slashes and can't do anything.
You know, I speak rat, but I really think we should keep going with this train of thought.
Of course. Ah! I scream at the rat.
The non-glowing rat looks at you. Still wielding
What
a
is it
long
saying?
blade.
What is he saying when he's yelling?
He just yelled, back at Doran. There was no word.
Make myself 4 feet tall. So I just... Ooh.
This rat squints at you and starts chittering something at you with broken common in between. And Bess, you can kind of get the idea. What it's saying at him is something along the lines of, "The rat god will punish you for this."
The rat god will punish you for this.
I get taller.
The rat god will no longer punish you for this.
He looks at you confused. And Bess, you understand, he says, "You will suffer."
You will suffer.
Oh, is that so?
I translate, "Oh, is that so?"
And it looks over at you, Bess. You speak rat?
You do? Do you?
And so now all the rest of you just see these two things just chittering at each other.
Motherfucker goes, "Do you?"
He looked confused at you for a moment.
I smile.
You dumb human rat.
I guess. You're a dumb rat.
Yeah, we all dumb rat. Yes.
Rat. We have questions for you.
Do they involve me slicing you open and eating your guts?
Possibly.
Oh, do ask.
I turn to Doran and Six and say, "What questions do we have again? I totally remember."
Ask him why he's so ugly.
My friend here would like to know why you are so ugly.
The rat looks over at Doran.
I flip him off.
He doesn't react to this, probably not understanding what it means.
Okay.
He not understand true beauty.
I agree.
Rat god make us all beautiful.
I turn around and say, Doran. He says the rat god makes us all beautiful. So.
Hey, real quick, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I pull out the decanter of endless water and I start spraying water into the invisible tank.
Okay.
Wait, they've already agreed to answer our question.
Well, here's the thing. If this invisible tank were to last longer than 10 minutes, you might be able to fill it up. But
I'm not trying to fill it up. I just want to get some splashing going.
okay, yeah, easily with the geyser function of your endless water, you can just start like splashing in there. And as you do so, the first rat that was speaking to Bess, it just it just kind of starts like, clawing at it, like wet. And the unconscious one starts to stir, and looks over at all of you, and just kind of like stays down, probably not doing so well.
I look at Six. He's probably gonna drown.
Alistair, make a medicine check, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, I stop.
No, keep going. It's funny.
But they've already agreed to tell us, to talk to us.
Okay.
What were our questions?
I want to know why they are here.
I asked them, why are you here?
Rat God told us, take this place, it's ours, it belonged to us, it's our right, yes.
I relay that.
Well, now it's ours.
Yeah, we can presume for the remainder of this that you will be relaying everything.
Okay.
It's
Unless you
ours
tell me
now.
otherwise.
And
We
I'd
take
like
it
to
back.
see you.
There are many, many more of us. We come back. We take it from you. It not belong to you. Rat God give it to us.
If you're dead, then who's gonna tell him?
They will know. Rat God will tell them, yes.
Are
Rat
you?
God.
Do you happen to be friends with Marcus?
Who?
Never.
The Rat King?
There are only one Rat King.
And who's that?
He points to the glowing one on the ground.
So no, you're not friends with him.
He Gek, chosen of the Rat God.
100 gags.
Why is he glowing?
Chosen to do what?
Chosen to lead. Bring us to victory. Yes, yes. Eats many, many dirty, filthy human and elf and dwarf and nom 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 nom.
Why is he unconscious?
you beat.
Because invisible ghost beat him. Rat God must be. Oh, Rat God must be angry with him. Oh no. And he starts backing away from the unconscious one, or I guess barely conscious one. He kind of like back against the wall. He looks frantically at the rest of you and at Bess. Let me out. I not want to be with this one. Rat God angry with him. Yes.
No.
He starts panicking a bit.
Help.
Don't worry.
No, I don't want to.
I want to meet the rat god.
Oh, you want meat, Rat God? But maybe you kill this one. Yes, you let me go because Rat God like me lots. And
Well, if the rat god likes you, you can introduce me.
Yes, I introduce you to Rat God, yes, and you let me go, and you kill this one and make Rat God happy, because Rat God angry with him, because he invisibly bah.
Well, you really shouldn't tell the rat god what the rat god wants.
Oh, no, I know, no, what,
What if I told him that I can make people invisible? Because I have the power. And I'm going to focus and make it so, and kind of just using prestidigitation, I'm going to make myself glow the same color as the rat he called the king.
Make an Arcana check for me.
I will do that. I can make an Arcana check, Holden. I can do that, Holden.
My god's pissed off because someone I didn't know beat the shit out of me invisibly.
While he does that, Alistair, make an intelligence, just a straight intelligence check for me. Jordan, with an 8, You glow a similar purple, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty close. Let me see here. Okay, yep, that'll do. With a 3, he's gonna look at you and go, "Oh, rat goddess!" He looks back at he looks back at Gek, as it were, and sees he's still glowing, and looks back at you. You knew Rat King? Why he
Yes.
still glow?
I make my glow brighter?
He kind of squints at you. Doesn't it only last for 6 seconds at a time?
Prestidigitation.
So I think you have to keep doing it.
No, prestidigitation's an hour.
An hour?
Uh-huh.
Damn. Okay. So he looks over at you, just glowing. He looks back. Oh, you now you must kill Gek. You must kill Gek, become new Rat King. But you're not Rat. How can you be Rat King? No. This make no sense. This is test from Rat God. This is test. This is just test. Oh no.
Tell him that emissaries do not have to be of the same kind.
Emissaries.
I'm an idiot.
Messengers.
Emissary. Messenger. You messenger Rat God?
You tell me.
Why you attack us? No. This make no sense. Messenger Rat God not attack us.
Check your faith. Those who we killed obviously weren't true believers. Why do you think you're still alive?
Make a deception check.
I fucking hate how we're duping rats like this for the second time in this campaign.
Uh-huh.
However, it's Doran's first.
An 11.
Wow, I rolled a fucking natural 2.
Let's see here. Let's get some. Okay. Well, okay. He squints at you again. He seems really befuddled. But they, what message you have? What message you bring to?
This is not your place anymore. Those who are not kind to us are coming to take it, and we'd rather see you alive than fall at the hands of people who are evil.
Oh, I see. So, Rat God sent messenger to let us know danger coming and that we cannot handle. We need more. We need bring more rats, so we need leave, retreat, and then come back. Yes?
No.
No?
He has decided that this place is not worth the hassle at the moment.
Oh,
It's
where
not
we go?
worth- I think he trusts you to find out.
Another test from the Rat God. Yes, we shall succeed. But what of Gek? Was Gek not faithful? He Rat King.
Do you believe Gek is faithful and worthy of being the king still?
Can we
Yes,
tell
yes,
if
yes,
he's
he's very
still
strong.
alive?
You can see he's breathing very shallowly. He doesn't look good, but you cast spare the dying on him, so you know he's gonna live. But
Can I get in there, or is it like?
it's a 10-foot
He
tall
cannot
invisible.
get in. I mean,
Would the water have been able to get in?
Yes, there's no roof.
Oh, how tall is it?
10 feet.
I'm
But it's an
gonna
invisible
put on my
flat
stilts.
barrier.
I'm gonna put on my stilts
fucking
and like
hate you.
kind of flop over into there.
Okay. Is everyone just gonna let her do that?
I'm gonna be like, that's probably not a smart move.
I'm gonna say, "Don't worry, I got this."
Okay. So you flop in and land inside, and he looks over at you. Oh, you rat speaker, you messenger forgotten. He's holding his sword kind of defensively. What do you want?
I have a message for the king, Gak.
Oh, I see.
But you have to look away and close your eyes.
Yeah, yes. I
And
close
you
eyes.
have to sing. You have to sing.
Sing praises. God, understood. And he turns around, kind of kind of bumps into the invisible wall and just, oh, rat God, do us good. Rat God, good, very good. And he's sitting there singing. What do you go over to Gek, who's kind
I
of.
wouldn't translate the song for that.
So the rest of you just gotta hear like rhythmic chittering.
I look at Six and go,
Bess goes in there and chitters and squeaks, and then this other one turns around and rhythmically squeaks.
I just look at Six and go, we are hanging out and are very weird people.
Yeah, I say, looking back at Doran.
Also, you guys seem oddly comfortable impersonating this rat god. Is there something I should
We?
know?
I say.
Yes. Normally you guys yell at me for impersonating gods, but I haven't heard a peep out of any of you.
Yeah.
I don't think Bess has been around for impersonating.
Nope.
Have I?
Just 6 would remember this.
And I don't seem that comfortable with it, so...
Yeah, six has notably stayed completely out of this.
But he hasn't said anything against it, so as far as Doran's concerned, that's a yes.
Does 6 physically seem uncomfortable? Is he kind of
Nah.
turned away?
I mean,
No.
Not really. It's just more of the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Bess, what are you saying to Gek? You go over and you see he's still glowing. It's faint right now, almost as if the glow of this, like this hysterium glow, is a signal of his life force. And as you near, he kind of, like, one eye opens up a little. And this is a large rat, larger than yourself, but he's still kind of down on the ground, completely stripped of his armor and weapons. And he kind of just opens one eye at you and growls as you approach.
Man's down in the dumps.
Give him some bumps.
I'm going to say in rat. We're here to help. Then back up by like, I think 30 feet. Let's do 30 feet, and I will cast healing word on him. But I want the healing word to be me joining into the song that the other rat is singing, the rat praises, while I'm casting healing word.
To get 30 feet away, you'd have to exit this.
Okay, well, I'll just go as far away as I can from
Okay,
him.
that would be over by the rat who is singing.
Yeah, I'll stand
So-
by him, start singing, and cast the spell.
So you guys watch. Bess kind of leans over and whispers something, chitters something, and the rat kind of growls. She backs up next to the singing, quote unquote, rat, and begins chittering along rhythmically. So both of you are just singing, "Rat God good, very good. Rat God bring us many shiny things." And she kind of joins in, and you cast it. How much do you heal him for?
Oh, I should probably roll for that, huh? Let me see here what I roll. 1d4.
Okay, from 1. Right. You see him kind of stir at the healing energy, and like shakily get up a little bit, and he's like kind of kneeling down. And he looks over at you, Bess, and sensing the tension, the other rat stops singing and kind of slowly turns around and looks at you, and looks at Gek and back at you. He's waiting for something, and Gek is just staring you down.
I'm gonna whisper to the other rat. I'm gonna like lean really close to him and say, "It worked."
Oh, rat god, very powerful. Yes, yes. Gek, you have been given second chance, Gek. And Gek looks over at him. Second chance for what? In the non-glowing Mim says, is his name? Gek would say, second chance for what, Mim? You have been given second chance, Gek. You may be not faithful enough to Rat God, but now these messengers bring us many gifts. They bring us gift, and they take away the unfaithful, and there are many baddies coming, so we must leave and retreat, but get more rats, and the Rat God will tell us where to go next. And Gek kind of shoots a look over at Bess. You can tell he's kind of trying to read you. He kind of squints at you, Bess, looks a little angry. Yes. Second chance. So it seems. Now they're both kind of staring at you, Bess.
Ask them about the invisible monsters, I tell Bess.
Did you guys see that invisible monster that was getting you earlier? Because that was...
Mim looks at you kind of confused. What? I thought that was Rat God enacting vengeance on Gek for not being faithful enough. Was it monster?
I squint at 6.
I would be relaying this at this point to the
Yep,
party.
Yep.
I just wasn't relaying the song.
6, you are really bad at fucking with contingency.
It's at this point, Alistair, that you'd be wrapping up what you're doing, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it after this, but you'd probably be heading back over to the party.
Yes, it was the Rat God enacting vengeance in the form of a monster. Let's go with that.
I relay that.
Gek is kind of just squinting and staring at you, Bess, seeming kind of unimpressed by what you're saying. But Mim is like, oh, rat come in many forms. Yes, yes. Very, very powerful. Very versatile. Versatile. I heard that word yesterday. Very big word.
Versatile.
Very big word. Yes, yes. I smart. I have smart rat brain.
You do. Give me a high five.
What?
Put your hand up.
He kind of extends his sharp razor claws
Give me a high
from his
five.
one paw.
What?
I'm gonna gently high five it.
He high five. Hi. Ha ha. He goes to high five you some more. He just like repeatedly high fives you. Ha 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 ha. But Gek this whole time is just staring at you. And after a couple moments pass and Alistair, do you just walk up to the group? Or what?
Yeah,
are you
I'd
doing?
walk up. I'm completely prestigious and cleaned, and I'm almost at full health. So I kind of I look at 6 and I lean against my cane and I go, "So, have you gotten anywhere?"
No.
I would say in common, it would be great if you could like turn my hands purple or something, or purple for a minute, so I can say it's time for us to go, or it's time for them to go, and they'll listen.
Sure. Yeah,
Can I
use
see
one
if
of my...
either of the rats understood that?
Mim is completely taken by your high fiving. Gek, you can make an insight check, I suppose.
I would love to do that. Insight?
Mm-hmm. 15. You can tell the way he's been staring at you, the way he's watching, the way his ears twitch as you speak. If he doesn't understand what you're saying in common, he's paying very close attention to it. He might. He might have understood everything that was said so far, but you're not sure. But suddenly this realization that maybe he actually speaks common kind of washes over you. And you're like, oh shit.
Do you relay that, Bess?
Yeah.
Well, it looks like his faith isn't good enough.
It's at this moment that the 10 minutes is up and the barrier disappears. And Nim is just like, so take it. Like, nobody actually, Doran, you might be the only one who knows because it's invisible.
I would know my magic was faded.
Yeah, you would know but it's invisible. So as far as everybody else is concerned, it's still there. And Gek is just staring at Bess, and Mim is just high-fiving.
I look and go, so our options are to do something about him before it bites us, or hope that nothing goes wrong in this entire situation but from us just walking away. Am I correct?
Well, we can't walk away. We would need them to leave.
Yes, we either let them leave and assume that everything's A-okay, and that there's nothing bad that's going to happen from this situation, and if he does understand us, or we claim that his faith is still faulty and we kill him where he stands, and then we just have one rat who believes that we are not bad people.
6, what do you think?
Well, I'm never generally one for the killing of things, but this is a very tough choice. In the large scope of things, what are 2 more rats left out there that someday we may have to fight?
Not that large. However, the thought process is, what are 2 more rats? What is 1 rat that knows that we are lying and will convince other rats to come back here?
So execution then.
That's just I'm okay with letting him go, but the thought process is, if we have just told Mim that we are part of the rat god, we're emissaries and messengers, so that he won't come back here. If he, I point towards Gek or Glick,
Gek.
Gak.
Gek,
Gek.
I point at Gek and go, if he knows that we're both full of it, and goes and tells the rats that we're full of it, and convinces them that we're full of it, and then brings an army back here, we will have to deal with that.
I would like to use my channel divinity read thoughts on Gak.
Okay.
Which is
Using
a
that on a
wisdom
regular
saving
rat just
throw.
gives you a blank slate in
Wisdom
your mind.
saving throw. The natural 7. There's no way he's saving that. So you cast channel divinity, and at this point, Gek is just kind of every time somebody speaks, his eyes go to them, and he's just kind of like down on one knee, sort of like just holding himself up barely, and looking at all of you as you take turns speaking. And Mim is kind of like looking around. He's finally finished high-fiving, and now he's kind of like, for a moment, he was just like, high five. But then he kind of like, he's looking around confused as you all speak a language he doesn't understand. Bess, you understand a couple of things. Reading a rat's mind is strange, but you get a couple of details from this. Firstly, in his mind, he's thinking in common. And he's thinking along the lines of, yes, let them talk. They let me go. I survive. Serve rat god another day. Yes. Just wait, Gek. Be strong, Gek. Punish Mim later. Are the sorts of things you hear.
But he's thinking in common.
He's thinking in common.
Prisoners, then.
Prisoners? Elaborate on that one for me, Six.
I'm gonna speak in common to Gak.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. Like a jail cell, where you put people that are uncooperative.
That's not what I meant by elaborate, but
We turn them into prisoners. Feed them, make sure they don't die. Just don't make sure they don't get out.
I'm gonna walk towards Gak a little bit. I'm gonna go up to here, and I'm going to say, I know you understand me. I know you want to live to see another day. I suggest you take Mim and leave. And at that, I will cast Suggestion and make him leave. And he automatically fails that saving throw, I
Right.
believe.
I was picking up a d20. Nope. He automatically fails because you're reading his mind.
Yeah.
Right. He looks up at you, narrows his eyes a little more, and he kind of like struggles and stands up. And he says in common, "Fine, we go." And he moves over to Mim and Rat. Best you can understand him saying, "It's time for us to leave, Mim. We fight another day."
Can you find out if he has any magic items that we should confiscate?
You guys went through you pilfered through and stripped him earlier.
That's right. Okay.
So he's naked.
Oh.
And Mim is still kind of there, like confused, and he looks as Gek approaches and says this. Mim looks around. Yes, I understand. We go now, and we fight another day. Yes, many meals ahead. Yes. And Gek kind of just like gives him. You see, he tries to like shove him like to assert dominance and like go, but it's a really weak shove because he's got 2 health. And Mim just and they begin kind of hobbling out. Mim is actually pretty fine.
I would wave goodbye to Mim and say, "Bye, Mim. Goodbye. Don't forget high fives."
He looks back at you. No, I no forget high fives. Yes. Ha. Goodbye, new friends. Yes. And
you
Gek
taught him
just
how to clap.
silently.
Oh no, that's
Gek
a high
leads him out.
five.
I look at Beth. Isn't it a high five when you high five someone else? But isn't it just clapping if you do it by yourself?
Well, yeah.
Alistair, I need to take you to Secret Secrets for one moment
Epic.
for what you were doing. So, while you were behind one of the buildings,
Yeah.
dissecting one of these rats rather
Yeah.
expertly, you've done this before, you know what you're doing. Because of the humanoid shape these rats have taken on, it's oddly familiar. As you crack it open and start taking a look, there are a couple of things you would know with the rolls you made. Firstly, you would notice that the brain itself is rather humanoid in shape and size. This whole thing is rather familiar to you, but it's just not. There's something different about it. It's still smaller and a bit smoother, and you can tell. The strange thing is, it's got that same kind of gray pink color, but the frontal lobe has a purple tint to it, as if like hysterium purple. And as you continued your dissection to gain more knowledge on this, you could find beneath the frontal lobe, as it goes down toward the brain stem, it's almost as if there's like one vein or cord or something that runs down and starts running from the brainstem down into the body. And your best guess is it leads to the heart or the stomach or somewhere in the abdomen. But with your intelligence roll, your best guess as to what you can decipher from this is that by ingesting hysterium one way or another, consuming it or putting it in their body somehow, it is left up to their heart, perhaps, but definitely their brainstem. And something has caused it to move up and affect the frontal lobe, making them, which is probably part of the reason they is as intelligent as like 5-year-old humans, at least.
Would I have been able to use scan, that cantrip you gave me, to follow that vein and see where it goes, or was that...
I would say yes, actually, since it's such a little limited cantrip, this is what it's for. Yes, you would be able to follow it and see that it goes down to the heart.
Interesting.
Comes from the heart. And with your intelligence check, yeah, you can make out that however they're ingesting it or consuming it, it goes to the heart and then up to the brainstem, travels up to the frontal lobe.
Absorbs the nutrients and the hysterium, and then it pumps it through the heart, and the heart brings it to the brain. Interesting.
Yeah, and
Right, I'll take it.
Yeah, but what you notice in particular is what a profound effect it has on the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is disproportionately large to the rest of the brain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I like that. I like that a lot.
Good. All right. I'll take you back.
You had to look up some anatomy for that, and I appreciate you.
Just a little bit. Okay. Let's head back.
No, it is
Right. So,
Henry Cabot Hanhouse III.
were you doing more trivia?
Yes.
Okay. Right. With that, the rats have left. The field is gone. The headquarters is littered with corpses and blood. What will you guys do? You have less than 3 hours before the Pretian forces are due to arrive.
Stack the bodies. Stack
Oh,
the bodies.
What are we doing with the bodies?
We could burn them or bury them.
Well, if those are our options, I'd say burn them.
The approaching Pretian troops might see the smoke and angle toward it.
So,
Well, isn't that fine since this is where they're going?
Yeah.
Understood, Alistair.
No, that's it's a good thing.
Hey, you guys having a bonfire? Yeah, what are you using for fuel? Rats?
Rats.
I'm gonna go check out that bathhouse.
The bathhouse?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sure.
Very good idea.
You head over, and best what you find inside is it looks like the water was left in many of the basins used for bathing and such, and is now dirtied, very dirtied by what you can presume. There's like clumps of fur and some blood and lots of dirt and mud. You can presume the rats enjoyed themselves in here, and it also smells horrendous.
Ew.
It's really gross in there. I say leaving.
Someone should fix it.
I'm not going to.
I guess that leaves me.
Well, you have magic
Doing
to help
God's
you.
work.
6, may I borrow that thing that shot water into the air?
Can't you just press to digitate things?
That can make it clean, but I'm going to dump out the water and we can fill it up with clean water.
Oh, okay.
Well, the problem is, I cast prestidigitation, I clean a small square inch of the water, and then do you know what happens? It gets dirty again because it's water.
Instead of water, could you just clean the object that's dirty?
Yes, but the water will still be dirty, and I'm assuming the water is what smells.
But what if we don't use water?
You want me to just dump out the barrels, clean the ground, and leave them empty in a bathhouse?
Maybe.
What kind of hosts are we?
The kind
I
that doesn't
mean-
live here?
I eat out of this. I don't want to get it dirty, Doran.
Wait. Are these basins movable?
No, they're like indentations within, like the holes dug in this building.
So 6, you're telling me you're
Yes.
not going to borrow me the thing that shoots water 10 feet in the air because you're afraid it's going to get dirty?
Well, I didn't think you needed to shoot water. You just needed something to. But I hand you the mug.
I look at the mug, I go, I mean, I'm going to fill it with water. I need something to fill it. I can take care of the getting out of the water. I need to fill them back up with water.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hand it over.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
take the mug with me.
You take the
No,
mug
I
as
keep
well.
the mug, man. I'm keeping it if you're not going to use it.
Okay.
Doran, how are you going to empty it?
I will use my water skin because I can clean it.
So you're literally going to, okay. If you want to use your water skin to empty this place out, prestidigitation the rest of it clean, and then use the decanter to fill everything back up and kind of restore this bathhouse, you can do so. But that's going to take you up probably about until the people arrive.
I am perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
Wait, why are we bothering to clean this?
Because it's what a good host would do. And I don't want to be around this
Is
middle
this?
of burning rats.
Have we reclaimed this for the cloaked rangers? Then come here, get over here, come on.
I thought it was going to the Parisians. That's why they were coming here to set up base.
Oh yeah.
Hence why we're being hosts.
All right. Well,
If it
Okay.
was for the cloaked rangers and they claimed this land, I wouldn't clean it because
Yeah,
then we're not hosts.
As you guys are discussing this, Alistair has kind of sat down and he's just, you can tell he's looking around, taking notes. He's getting as you've seen him do before, he's getting a lay of the land and just sketching it out for himself. And Six just kind of strikes a pose when Alistair looks over in his direction. Six is like, ha! Alistair, do you add that to the sketch?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You can tell, you see Alistair just smirk a little bit and you go to like draw something a little more detailed, just smaller, and Six, you know he did it.
all right. Well, let's do this so I can get this decanter back.
Okay, Six, are you going to help him with the cleaning of the
Yeah.
bathhouse?
Yeah,
Okay,
why
okay.
not?
Oh,
Sure.
does it go quicker then?
Yes, it will go quicker then. If Six is willing to use whatever containers he uses as well, then it'll take you guys like half the time, and then you can press the digitation, everything clean, and then fill it back up.
All right.
So
I'll
it'll take you
help
like
too.
okay. Alistair, are you gonna help or are you gonna sketch?
I'm gonna stay sketching, but I'm also gonna explore. After probably like 10 or 15 minutes of sketching and kind of measuring around, I'm gonna explore in here,
Okay,
kind of see what's popping in.
sure. The other three of you head in, and it'll take you probably just about an hour with the three of you to completely, with magic and mundane efforts, to completely kind of restore this bathhouse, and it'll look Six just as you remembered it. I think Bess as well. You were
Alright.
here for it'll look quite familiar and nice. During that hour, Alistair, you finish up your sketch and you head inside to the Cloaked Rangers headquarters proper, the larger building, and you find immediately as you enter in, ahead of you is like a large empty meeting hall, cafeteria, mess hall of some kind. And around you are just winding corridors and hallways and small rooms. You notice there's a basement with a couple of jail cells, and it seems it's emptied out and pretty untouched for the most part. You do kind of, it does smell a bit like rat, so they must have been in here, but you don't find any serious traces. Maybe like a clump of fur here or there, some fur, but you actually make an investigation or perception check for me.
Okay, are there chairs?
Yeah, in the mess hall.
Okay. Perception or investigation?
Yes. Perception 22. Yeah. You're after about 45 minutes of just exploring and kind of, you wouldn't be able to like sketch out the entire place, but you'd definitely get an idea of how things are in there. You're quite certain you've scanned it quite well. There's no rats in here, and there's not like a nest or like a hidden tunnel or anything that you can find. It just smells a little bit, but yeah, you get the idea of it.
Gotcha. That was way more than I wanted, and I'll take it.
Okay. And so after about an hour, Alistair has checked the main building, and all of you have cleaned the bathhouse. You have a A little less than a couple hours left.
I bring out enough chairs for all of us and 3 extras.
Okay, so you're gonna bring out from the mess hall. Yeah, you can do that with like the last 5 minutes. 7 chairs.
Yes.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I look at him and go, why are they extras?
For the people coming?
Are there only 3 people coming?
I don't know. But I have a
Could use
feeling.
my chair.
I have a feeling that whoever does come, if we're gonna talk to them, they'd like to sit.
Good. Are we going with a more direct approach? Or are we just going to accuse them of being up to something sketchy, or should we be nicer about it?
Holden, may I move the chairs?
Yes, actually, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to allow Alistair to control that one, and then I'll get rid of the rest and recopy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 chairs there. You'll just have to drag them out. Yep.
Whoa.
You can order
Do we
you can put these chairs
believe-
however you like.
Do we believe they've done something sketchy?
Well, I thought we were supposed to figure out why they were coming to help, and I thought, what's his name, Mr. Commander, Sir, or whatever, wanted us to figure out what their intentions were.
That is true. But I feel like people don't like being outwardly accused of things we have no evidence of.
Well, then, cues. Let's just start it off as a nice, friendly conversation.
There we go. So, yes, a little nicer, I would say, Doran.
All
I
right.
will not immediately.
Then I will
accuse
not
them
do
of
the
being
talking until we have decided how we want to progress.
Okay. As you guys are discussing this, and Alistair is setting up some chairs, did you guys figure out what you wanted to do with the rat corpses? Are you burning them, piling them, or are you...
I thought we were burning them.
We are burning them.
You
yeah.
are burning them.
Let's
Okay.
burn 'em.
So Alistair's setting up some chairs, and you guys will all... Why is there a Z on this?
we're-
Did Zoro attack this one? What?
No, I tried to color it the same color as the ground to get rid of it.
Ah.
I couldn't find ground colored though,
Why did you want to... What?
cause you're dumb.
Okay. I did what you said
God
earlier.
damn it! I hate. Ugh.
Anyway, I'm going to pile these guys up then. A bunch of dead rats. Are you gonna even go out and haul in the giant one outside, or no? The one that the big guy was riding?
No,
No.
I'm not.
Okay, so you guys pile up all the rats over time as well. You know, strenuous but not super tough. I will say you guys have been doing light work mostly. You've been taking it rather easy.
I want to bring out one more chair. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you can do this. There's one more chair copied there. So by the time you
Large.
guys have about like half an hour left, you'd think, before the Parisian forces are to arrive, you can all take a short rest if you'd like.
I don't gain anything from that.
Yeah, but you've been doing kind of like light-ish, mostly work for 2.5 hours. Nothing too crazy, so I'm gonna give that to you if you'd like.
Thank you.
You're
And-
welcome, Jason.
About the half-hour mark before Parisian forces are due to arrive-ish, the sun begins to set. Just barely. It's just coming down on the horizon over the mountains to the east, and in its bright orange light. As you guys kind of, are you kind of checking outside? Are you like watching the path, waiting for them, or are you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you'd be checking
Try to
intermittently.
get a view on 'em.
I'm switching my position in my bed, so now I'm laying down with my feet in the air, like I am a
Yeah.
teenage girl.
I'm gonna say 6. Okay, 6.
I could do
You
that.
would notice first, in the sky with this renewed orange light just filling the horizon in particular. You would see what appears to be one large mass, surrounded by 3 much smaller shapes that kind of seem to dance around it, and it almost looks like it could be like a really oddly shaped cloud, but then there are 3 things dancing around it, and it's really weird. It's hard to say what this is, but you kind of squint and the sun's a little bright and you can't quite tell what it is, but there's something in the sky.
Doran, I've told you for years the government is fucking with alien technology.
How high up is it?
Oh, it's hard to say from this distance, but you would wager maybe anywhere in the realm from
Monsters back.
200 to 500 feet up. It's up there enough that you can see it, but it's not like way up there. It's like, you know, just above the horizon.
Do you think it's a bird?
Be a really
And-
fucking big
and
bird.
It's a dark mass. You say.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
kind of
really
seems to
tell.
be. Yeah, you can't discern a shape right now. It kind of just seems like almost like an oval. Maybe it's
I be able
it's
to
too
see it?
far. Yeah, you can see it.
Would I know if it's a spell? Can I make an Arcana check?
Sure. You can make an Arcana check. 15.
Because I have an
You
idea of what I think it might be, but I don't know. I don't have the spell personally, and I don't know if I
It
would know anybody. who
Could
has
be
it.
some sort of spell that, you know, creates a cloud of some sort, or
Maybe
like
like a cloud
it's-
of gas.
Yeah, it could be like a cloud of gas or something, especially because of its like very defined shape. It could be something like that. Maybe is your best
Gotcha.
guess. But based on how high it would be up in the air, somebody would have to be like very capable of casting it very far.
Right.
Is there anything else you guys want to
I'm
do
gonna-
before?
Return my attention and
Programmed illusion. Okay. What illusion are you programming?
we will see when they get here.
Okay.
Because it does not activate right away.
Right. So you prepare. You're like, okay, I'm gonna set up my own illusion here, and you get the spell going, and it lasts for until it's dispelled. So you just have it, and you guys watch as Alistair kind of concentrates, and he weaves his hands in the air, and there's like a trail as if reality is kind of being bended around his hands, and then nothing happens.
Reality bends to my will. Suck it.
I watch him do that, and I like to move my hands around and using minor illusion, kind of make the air warble.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite. It kind of looks like the knockoff version, like the cheap, shitty After Effects version. But like, you kind of do it just to mimic
I'm gonna
him.
hold my hand up to 6 for a high five.
High five.
Shit.
I will look at Alistair and give him a big thumbs up.
I kind of look at him and I go, all right.
What's yours gonna do? Mine's gonna blow up.
I hope it doesn't. Okay.
In a massive ball of acid and death.
Sorry, I'm just gonna copy and paste your guys' tokens here so that the chairs aren't over you. Get rid of that. Move that back there. So I just gave you new, fresher tokens so that you can actually be placed atop the chairs. Right. So is there anything else you guys want to do before? I say
Hide
any more?
underneath my chair.
Okay. As Alistair is still kind of thinking about how he wants to configure the chairs, Doran kind of just gets under one, nuzzles up. While
Yeah,
they're
but I
Bear
want-
figuring
with
I
out-
me. Just let that be there for a second.
Okay.
I understand holding my figure is gonna be on top of my chair now. I don't want that because I'm gonna be under my.
Well, here's the thing. I can make a new chair so that'll be over your new token, and then you can be back under the chair.
Do you know what I'll do then?
What are you gonna do?
Climb on top of my chair.
I hate you.
There. Okay. You can clear off the line.
Okay.
Why do we have 5 chairs?
Do you ask that to Alistair?
Yeah.
I look him dead in the eyes and I go, it wouldn't be even otherwise. I like it like this.
That means someone's gonna have to sit next to us.
That's false. I won't let anybody. It's an empty chair.
Shouldn't the empty chair be the one in the middle then?
Nope, I'm in the middle.
But then there's gonna be one off side and it won't be
Mhm.
even anymore.
Okay, you see me wave my hand a little bit and my eyes shut, and then they reopen and go, I fixed it. Just wait.
I'm going to sit. I would like to grab this chair right here. And I'll look at Alistair and I will just sit on it. I'll look like I'm gonna get ready to move it away from, and then I'll just sit.
Okay. Remind me, did you guys burn the corpses or did you just pile
Yeah,
them?
we
Okay.
lit
Yeah.
them on fire.
Yeah. Right.
What's up,
Um.
Dawn?
We got them so hot.
It stinks.
Oh yeah.
Blake, you're feisty tonight. I like it.
It's because I'm tired from car hunting all day.
Did you find any?
I did find cars.
Did you find any
Did you
you
shoot
like?
them?
No, we only really looked at one that I would take, and the
Oh,
hood, the
there's
thing
a
that
flaming
pops,
rock.
the things that pops the hood. it was broken, so you had to hold it to actually pop the hood. And I went, yeah, that's a big point to why I don't want this vehicle.
So
It's effort to open my hood.
So you guys, as the rat corpses are continuing to burn, and Jesus, that was not a fun sound as that scraped across your mic. So as the rat corpses are beginning to smolder, the smell is not nice. But
Is it bad?
Correct.
I'd like to use prestidigitation to make it nice.
Okay.
Like
so
a Febreze can. You see me point my finger like this and sound.
psh, psh, psh. Okay. Wait, just the air around you?
Yeah, kind of like. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a weird mix
So
of
that the corpse smell isn't noticeable.
yeah. So but because it's still coming from the smoldering, there's a weird mix now of like nice smells from Alistair's prestidigitation and burning rat. But it's it's something.
So is it kind of just like a pit of ash?
Yeah, mostly at this point.
Okay, can I use prestidigitation to put it out?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, then make it smell nice.
Okay, so Alistair kind of fixes up the smell. Where did 6 go? Where'd your token go?
He's right there.
Six is invisible.
What?
Because
Did
he
you-
wanted to be.
Did you delete your token?
No.
Did you
Can you
never
find
put
it?
one?
I know I
Hold
put
it.
one down. I know I put one. Oh my God! He went into the fucking. Right. With that, as you guys kind of finish making it not smell horrible, and and have these chairs set up, are you just gonna sit and wait?
I'm still gonna be like looking out the door and shit.
Okay, so 6 is keeping watch. Bess, are you gonna sit with the
Maybe
other
up on the
two,
wall
or
up here.
yeah, you can get up there.
I'm sorry, where is 6?
So 6 has taken up a position on the wall over here at the front gates that has been bashed open to keep an eye out.
Oh, I'll join him on the other end of the gates there.
Okay, so you guys are watching over here, leaving Doran and Alistair to sit and wait.
I look
Me
at Alice
going-
there, and
Go
I
ahead.
hold my hand up. And I go, all right, let's play bludgeoning tool, piercing tool, slashing tool.
There's a better name for that we used to play back in my hometown. Quartz parchment shears.
Quartz. Oh, that's much better than bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Although yours does have a nice ring to it.
It does.
Yeah, okay. I'll play a few rounds of rock, paper, scissors with Doran.
Okay. As you guys are sitting there playing quote unquote rock, paper, scissors, eventually the
Quartz
sun.
parchment shears?
Yeah, thanks. The sun begins to properly set, and dusk is setting in. There is enough light for 6 and Bess in particular to glimpse something the likes of which you've never seen before. Doran and Alistair, it'll eventually catch your attention as well. The large rounded mass that was up in the sky before, you can now see, appears to be of wood and beams floating toward you. It almost looks
Beams?
like it almost looks like a ship. Beams. It almost looks like a ship, but in lieu of sails, canvas fins jut out at either side of the vessel, flapping slowly like giant wings of a bird.
That's
Oh,
gotta
great.
be Priest,
We
right?
put priests in the sky. They had to figure out how to get back down.
As this vessel comes closer, and you all surmise its origin, it then becomes clear that the 3 shapes dancing around it, this flying ship, the 3 shapes.
Sheeps.
The 3 sheeps are sheep? No, the 3 shapes dancing around the ship.
Dangling.
Ma! Ma!
The guy's sheep just dangling from ropes.
Help!
Oh, no. The 3
These
shapes.
are alarms, so people don't get too close to the ship.
Oh shit. Okay. The shapes flying around this ship are this time something you all may have heard of or dreamed of, but certainly not seen. Flying horses. But no, as they get closer, they're not quite horses. They have bodies like lions, and talons and beaks, and wings like massive eagles. And there are
Would I-
people riding them.
Would anybody... Can I make a roll to see if I know what they are? Or remember? I don't think I would have remembered.
You would not have any idea about
No
this.
idea? Alright.
Nope.
Well, they
So
didn't bring the
'Cause I
dragon.
definitely have something that he would say if he did know.
So, what appears to be coming toward you over the horizon from the direction of priests is a flying ship of some sort with 3 monstrous beasts flying around it, flitting in a pattern with riders atop them. And as this strange sight captures you all, the ship eventually begins to descend, the winged lion beasts following, and the ship begins to come in for a landing directly at the gates of the old headquarters.
You know, nothing's gonna surprise me next week. I mean, this is got to be it, right, guys? The flying ship.
Right. So the ship,
It's
it
the
actually,
weirdest thing we can see. Okay.
it flies directly over the base and hovers strangely over toward the front. You don't see anybody, but it hovers over. The wings continue to flap, and then they increase their pace as they come down. And you can hear this strange whirring sound, something similar to when you cast a very powerful spell that like sends a beam out, or charging magical energy as it descends. And as it finishes its descent and begins to settle down on the ground, several rope ladders descend from either side, and at the bottom of the rope ladders are these spikes that pierce into the ground and stabilize it. And as it lands, you can now also get a better view of the 3 beast riders, as it were, who continue their formation and fly over and above and kind of take up like a defensive holding pattern, just flying circles around the ship.
Is there anyone on the ship that we can see?
Not that you can see. It's a tall ship. Like, you're about 10 feet up on this wall, and it'd be like another 20 feet up maybe to be able to peer over the top of the ship. So you don't see anyone on top. However, you can, as it comes down, you do notice, like as it approached and it came down and descended, that it doesn't move very fast. Nevertheless, it's an incredible marvel to behold. And as these rope ladders come down, eventually, after a couple of moments, the whirring begins to die down and enter a low hum. And a single man begins descending one of the ladders.
Unknown caller.
An unknown caller descends the ladder. That's all right.
This isn't a beach. This is a bathtub.
This man.
Hang on, sorry. Fuck.
Do you need to take it?
Jesus Christ. No. It's okay. Please continue.
Okay. So this single man begins descending the middle ladder. Actually, I'll put him here. He begins coming down. Oh, they landed right on top of this rat, which is not correct. I'm just gonna. You know what? You're gone now. Yeah.
We got
Actually.
a loud squishing noise.
Yeah, actually, yes. As it lands, you can hear the bones crunching of this beast, just completely overtaken by the weight of this thing. But the man descending this rope ladder appears to be a late middle-aged human male, who is clad in ornate dark armor, with purple and gold details, which you recognize many of the guards wore. Not the dark, but like the purple and gold details are indicative of guards from priests that you saw. But he actually appears to be far less decorated than the 6 soldiers that follow closely behind him. As he begins descending, 6 more heavily armed soldiers begin to follow, and you can see on their backs they're climbing down, and they have massive maces. But this man, who seems to be in charge, maybe as he went first, has like a full gray beard and medium long graying hair that may have once been black. And actually, I have a picture for you.
Do you?
I
I
do.
love it when he brings pictures to show and tell.
Can I take my pants off?
Yes.
I shouldn't. I'm at home.
And
with
if you
my
drag it down
parents.
just a little bit, you'll see a very prominent message displayed below it.
I don't see any image yet. Hold it.
Do you not?
Below what?
Is there no image?
Not for me.
What if I do this? How about now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Clara swoons.
Ramson.
Right.
I was gonna say something, but then I realized what the
Right.
caption is,
So-
and I can't.
As this
I only
man,
swooned for that guy in the drive-thru today who told me I was lovely. For
he did.
giving him
Yeah,
quarters.
this is true. This is all
Well,
true.
I mean, Holden didn't even compliment your hair properly. He just said it looked fine. So
He
That
said
was-
it's shorter than I thought it would be.
I was
Good
half asleep.
God, Holden. disappointed.
I'm never letting you live that down, motherfucker.
Nobody
Neither
will.
am I.
You know, she is gone for a weekend. I clean the entire house. She comes home to something, to just a great place, and I give her back rub, and like I'm best boyfriend ever. But no, I half asleep when she first got the haircut said, "Oh, it's fine. It's shorter than I expected." I'm the worst boyfriend ever. Anyway,
I love you.
I'm not salty about it. Shut up. I just realized that fell off loop. There we go. So as he descends the ladder, I'm sorry. Did you want to do something?
Oh, as he touches down, I mean, go ahead. Go.
Sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, he descends the ladder as Blake rubs a blanket on his mic. It's very nice. And he sees you guys atop the. As soon as he steps down, he kind of just brushes himself off. Looks up at you two on the posts, and smiles, gives a wave, and begins to approach. And behind him are I'll bring them into view now. The 6 soldiers.
It's been a mistake.
Hold on, let me just go ahead and do this.
We ordered in black.
Wait, do you say that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He looks up at you. Well, unfortunately, we don't have it in black, but perhaps next time.
We'll take it anyway.
Colonel Ramson Willows, I take it you are the Cloaked Rangers.
Colonel Willows.
Indeed, we are. I say.
We are the
jumping
Bronze
down.
Toads.
The Bronze Toads. I've heard of you. In fact, I believe I saw you give quite the speech on Direwood back in Priest.
A couple of us, yeah.
A pleasure to properly make your acquaintance.
And yours.
I presume we are welcomed in then.
I would
Please.
jump down and reach out to shake his hand.
You
We
jump
have
down.
just finished burning all of the rats.
His eyes kind of widen. Oh, and you jump down. He's
Well,
like, oh.
just the corpses. Sorry.
He blinks a couple times. Absolutely. And as Bess kind of jumps down, he goes, "Oh, hello. Well, it is nice to meet such a lovely lady out here in such a terrible place." And he extends his
It
hand.
certainly was, I say, sort of stepping between the two of them.
He extends his hand toward Bess as 6 jumps out. I was like, "Oh no!" And 6, you just grab his hand. He's like, "Oh, of course." And he shakes your hand. And I have the pleasure of meeting. He looks at you, 6.
You may call me 6.
6 it is. And you, lovely lady.
These are my companions. Bess, my girlfriend. Doran.
Doran is still playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, those two are back there. Bess, do you do anything as he extends his hand toward you?
I would shake it and
You just shake
smile
it.
politely.
Okay. Well, what if I told you he extended his hand kind of like his palm up like this? Or you still just go for a shake?
Yeah.
Okay, you still just go for a shake. He smiles warmly. Very good to meet both of you. Now, where are the rest?
Aha! Follow us in.
Very well. At this point you see him look up at the riders. He gives a sharp like a big whistle. Hold on, I can't do it. Something like that, whatever. I don't even know if you could hear it. And Blake, what are you
I'm
blanking
fine.
it up, Blake? God damn it.
I'm fine. I'm awake.
Yeah, he gives a sharp whistle and waves his arm in a circular motion, which ends in a point toward the city of Direwood, and the 3 riders begin flying off. Not the ship, but the 3. God damn it, the ship has a massive fucking hitbox. The 3 riders begin flying off. God damn it, I can't actually fucking get rid of it.
Be better.
I can't do it.
Be better.
The ship just has such a massive hitbox. I can't fucking move them. Okay, here we go. Sorry. Yeah, so the 3 riders begin flying off.
Do you see Patrick Starr in the background?
I can see him.
I hate you, Blake.
Right then, and the ship returns. Here, we'll put it like over here, so it's slightly more out of the way. And as you guys enter, Alistair and Bess, what you see the same man I described before, and you saw in the picture, and 6
Alistair and
very.
Doran?
What did I say?
Bess.
Alistair
Oh,
Bess.
yeah, Alistair and Doran. You see, following 6 and Bess closely are these 6 large men wielding giant maces, following this man in dark-clad armor who just has a shield and sword on his back, or a sword at his side on a hilt, and he's walking with his hands behind his back, kind of looking around. He seems really plain for somebody who you presume to be the leader. He's just kind of curious.
as he gets close enough, like within hearing distance, that's when I'll stop playing the game, and I'll look at Alistair and go, and that's when I told the king himself, you don't wear trousers that way.
And what way would that be?
Backwards.
Ah, a king wearing his trousers
He had
backwards.
the zipper on the back. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He called himself the Mad King.
The
He just-
Mad King.
It was
I
funny
too
'cause
would
he
be
always
a
has
mad
people to zip
king.
him up.
I too would be a mad king if I found my pants backwards.
It explained why he
Whose
always
fault do you
needs
think
to
that would be?
dress.
Right. He looks around now. I have the pleasure of meeting, and he kind of just extends a hand toward you, Doran.
Dorian Lorenz, Celio Helix, and the third. And I shake his hand.
He shakes it and just kind of smiles. You see him for a moment think. He just looks at you. I'm not
call
going
me
to give that.
Doran.
Thank you. I wasn't going to give that a try.
It would have been funnier if you did.
And he extends his hands to Alistair. And
I'd stand up and meet his handshake. Alistair Kane, traveling bard.
Kane, where have I heard that? Have I heard that
I'm
name
pretty.
before?
I'm known in Priest. The Boiling Boar is my normal place of residence.
I've probably heard of you from my soldiers then. Very well. I always appreciate finding a well-dressed man in my ranks. Now,
Thank you.
where are, dare I ask once more, the rest?
The rest of the
As of
cloaked
right
rangers
now-
are.
Nice. Radio silence.
Jason, you speak.
The rest of the cloaked rangers are farther north at our main encampment. We've moved due to the dangers found in this area.
He looks over at the large mass of, like, still just very faintly smoking ashes. And you did that yourself.
Yes, we figured you would want a place to rest and freshen up a little bit before continuing traveling.
Your concern is much appreciated, but these are hardened soldiers. They'll sleep in the dirt if they need to. Speaking of, he turns around, and at this point, you see there are, in fact, 2 more rows of individuals making their way in. What appears to be... God damn it, this fucking ship. I'm just going to move away over here. What appears to be 10 swordsmen marching their way in, who file into formation over here, followed by 10 more crossbowmen in formation who march their way in, stand in formation, and wait.
You kind of hear Alistair under his breath when I didn't get enough chairs.
I look at Alistair and go, you really thought there was going to be 3 of them?
I thought there was going to be 3 people of importance who were going to sit down while a few others stood behind. I didn't expect the entire military.
I'm assuming this is the entire military.
He
I
stands,
don't think it is.
He stands still with his hands behind his back and just kind of patiently letting you guys talk.
Should we settle them in here or bring them back to the...
My thought exactly. We are here to occupy this location. I presume you've prepared it. We may begin occupying.
As you see fit.
Prepared is a word for what we've done. I made sure the bathhouse is nice.
Oh, a bathhouse.
It's that when I point to the bathhouse.
Huh. The scouts mentioned there were a couple of auxiliary buildings. They did not mention one was a bathhouse. And he turns back.
What
Hey,
are
boys! We got a bathhouse! And you hear, like, several of the men, yeah! Like, still in formation, still, like, professionally standing there at the ready, but some of them are just like, yes!
What are the other buildings that are there? are here.
So this one was a small bathhouse. This one here. Where this is the main headquarters, and this one, Jesse reminded me, was a sort of worship area, like a chapel almost.
Okay, I would relay the functions of each of those buildings and let them know they can do with what they do what they see fit.
Very well. The colonel listens carefully. Very well. Do you forgive me? Do you have official ranks or titles that my
Those
men
3
may
do.
address you by?
Those 3 do, and I point to everyone else.
Doran is the official ambassador for the the Church of the Rock.
I nod. You can call me Doran, though.
Very interesting. Good to know. And for Alistair.
I don't know.
You're
Alistair legitimately kind of sits and thinks for a second. He goes, and I never really thought of having a rank. I know I was given one, but I don't think about it that often.
Tell him the title.
You took did you take fucking what was the feat?
Yeah, I took that feat that lets me remember everything.
What was it called?
I'm trying to find
knowledgeable.
it. Hang on.
The Keen Mind. Yes, you took Keen Mind because it would have come up in conversation recently. You know, Alistair is officially a lieutenant.
Alistair, you're a lieutenant.
I'm a lieutenant.
You
But
see Willow's.
Alistair's fine.
Yeah, you see Colonel Willow's just kind of. He narrows his eyes a little, but he seems a little entertained. Very well, and you too.
We're both attorney generals. I don't remember the name.
With Keen Mind, you would know you were both colonels.
Colonel.
You were close. Colonel Sanders.
Colonel 6. Colonel
You
Beth.
can see Alistair looks very disgruntled at this point. Not because of forgetting, but he's kind of just mumbling to himself because he's not gonna get the show's illusion off like he thought it was planned.
Oh,
fuck.
You see his eyes kind of actually widen for a little bit. He straightens up his stance. Oh, very good to know I'm in the presence of fellow colonels. Thank you for your hospitality. I appreciate both of you. Well then,
we appreciate your presence.
he nods. He turns back to his men.
You brought presents? Doran says that. He goes, you brought presents?
You guys were given presents from Priest.
It's true.
I know.
This would be a perfect time to thank someone for that as well.
He nods. He nods to his
Your gifts were received, and we are very thankful for them. The city of Priest has had our backs recently, and we appreciate that.
Not my gifts. I will not take personal responsibility, but I will accept your thanks on behalf of priests, the people, and some within higher authorities seem to have been impressed by you, and you've rallied up quite a bit there. However, if you'll give me just one moment, and he kind of just nods back to his personal guard, who fan out, take a step back. He goes and stands in front of his men. Right. Actually, there are men and women, I should say.
Equal Opportunity Army.
He addresses them. Soldiers of priests, these two are to be treated with the same respect and nobility as myself. They are colonels of the Cloaked Rangers and will be treated as such. Is that understood? And all at once, the 20 of them, yes, sir! And they all kind of like stamp one of their feet. And he nods. Good. You may begin the process. Let's make this home. And immediately, they all begin to fan out, and some enter the main quarters. A few go to investigate the chapel, and they all begin to fan out. These two actually move over to start trying to clean some of this up, and a couple take up defensive positions immediately. Looks like they had this pretty well planned.
Seems like we could be doing this colonelling a little more
Colonelishiously?
Yeah.
Nope. I kind of look at the guy. I look at the colonel and I go, "You have brought a lot of men
And women.
You brought a lot of people.
That we have.
And elves. Oh, sorry.
And my axe.
A lot of them are wearing helmets and such, but you could certainly tell. Just there are mostly humans, elves, and half elves in here. Yeah, there are certainly all three.
I hope this isn't pressing too much. Why did you bring so many people?
Well, frankly, I don't know. What I was told was to assemble an order of some of my finest, get them on the ship, newly constructed, in fact. You should give it a try if you ever get a chance. It was incredible. Flying through the sky.
Leather package.
What's that?
The leather package.
Leather
I
package.
suggest. On the ship. The seats. See,
No, he doesn't seem to understand what you're saying. Holden now is finally clicking, but he says, right, yes, the leather package. Anyway, I was told my direct orders were collect my finest, a force of anywhere from 20 to 30, take my personal guard, and move to occupy this headquarters. I was given the location, the layout of the area as best our scouts could give it, and was told to expect company. That's about it. So, frankly, I was expecting more cloaked rangers, but sending a couple of colonels and a lieutenant here as long as a prominent auxiliary. I'm honored.
We are stretched perhaps a bit more thin than even we care to admit at the moment. Your presence will certainly make this a safer environment for all of us.
He looks over at the chairs. May we?
Alistair has this relieved look, and he's like, yes.
Yeah. He goes over and just picks this one up and scoots it over to here in front and sits down. Oh, I have to redo his token.
There's two of them.
Right.
Oh!
And his personal guard just kind of surround him a little. They immediately file around him. Except you see him give a head nod, and a couple of them nod in response and go to kind of guard the front gates. It seems.
Six will take a seat here. Why not?
Right. As you all take seats, he sits down and he kind of reaches back and pulls out a water skin. No, he's gonna go. He goes for a flask. He takes out a flask, takes a sip. Much better.
I slowly tip this chair over.
Okay, so you slowly just until it just lightly falls over into the dirt. And he looks around. Actually,
Wait, which chair?
the empty one over
This
Oh,
one.
thank fuck. Okay.
here. So that's tipped over here. Hold on, let me just do this. He sits, takes a sip from this flask. Tea, anyone? He holds it out for you.
Why do you have tea in a flask?
Well, frankly, when people see me drinking from a flask, they assume it's alcohol, and it seems to have a bit of an effect on people when they think somebody in a higher authority is not always so prim and proper, doesn't always follow the rules. They tend to have a bit more of an inclination toward liking you. A strange thing.
He slowly shifts his eyes towards Six, who's like drinking from a bottle.
He slowly shifts his eyes. Except I'm not actually. Right then.
He's like, oh, I'm surrounded by alcoholics. Nice.
So,
I've never drank a day in my life.
our current plan, what I was told, was to correspond with whoever would meet me. It seems that would be you. While my men are filing through, preparing things properly, preparing a place to sleep, eat, setting up a watch, etc. What would you have us do?
Well, firstly, there are, as I say, still some dangers about. We are attempting to clear an area where we can start to grow more food in larger quantities. I'm sure you would partake in fresh vegetables if we had them. So that is definitely an area of interest. There is a group of scalawags. Is that a word people use without being embarrassed?
Believe it's a Pretian term, but or not a Pretian, a Gloucesterian term, but I've heard it before.
Scalawags, then. Well, they kind of. How do I explain this? They're not part of greater society. They tend to stick toward the backgrounds and live in caves and stuff underground. Named the New Republic. New Republic is occasionally a thorn in the side here of some of the peoples. We would
Enough.
absolutely love to work with them, not against them. Sorry, go ahead, please.
Working with them would be difficult, seeing as
They want to kill us.
Well, some of them do.
well the bounties.
I'm not sure, as an entire group, that that's the truth.
Moving on from that, Holden, do we remember specifically what else that the commander had said we could use them for, or what information that we were trying to get from them?
Basically, the commander wanted to get a real sense of their reason for so quickly finally deciding to move in. He mentioned for quite some time he's tried to gather aid from priests and other neighboring locations and has gotten nothing. And suddenly, out of nowhere, priest is like, yeah, let's send a force. We'll take that headquarters. We'll help you out. He wants to know what the real motives are, if there are ulterior motives. And he wants, and he basically wanted you guys to kind of size things up and maybe figure out how we could best, the Cloaked Rangers could best work in tandem with these people if everything's on the up and up. So it's he kind of trusted you guys to figure it out.
What is your what is this, a squadron?
Well, frankly, I don't think there's a proper terminology for it. This is not
Call
a
you
typical...
a task force. What is your task force best capable of? What are your fortes? Where can we place you that you would be able to do your work best?
Well, we do intend to stay here as a sort of location, a headquarters for priests now, in case we do want to send more in, and a foothold, a last bastion, so to speak, in case people do need to flee.
Okay.
Mainly, I've been told to occupy this location, await further orders, defend it, and do as I see fit. And I took the job because, frankly, it seemed interesting. It was to my understanding that Direwood was quite the dead city, filled with rats and other beasts, outlaws, bandits, adventurers who rarely make it further than the city walls. And I was unaware of how extensive the reconstruction efforts were. If you're trying to reinitiate farms.
Well, we do like eating. Ha ha ha.
I
Ha
would
ha ha.
presume you do.
Ha.
Luckily-
Ha, ha, ha.
Luckily, we have brought with us provisions. Do you need a good meal tonight?
I think we're set.
We appreciate the offer. Please.
How good
tend
of
to
a
your men
meal?
first?
Oh, Doran.
Well, tonight, as celebration of our first night in Direwood, and I presume it'll be a long, hard day's work, we'll have roast duck.
I'm in.
Very well.
Well, Doran's in.
Should we? I would lean closer to Six and murmur, so trying not to have.
Do I
what's
see?
his face
Do
here.
I kind of see this?
I mean, it's you, 3 guards, and the 4 of you just kind of sitting out in this field. Everyone could see it.
The second I
Unless
see her
she's
start
really
to lean
sneaky
in,
somehow.
the second I see her start to lean in, I'm going to talk to him and just keep talking about food.
Okay,
I want
you
his
see,
attention on me.
Bess slowly starts to lean in, and the colonel's eyes kind of go to her, and then you start talking. He looks very attentively back at you.
I'm like, oh, I love duck. I love eating well. I can't wait till our farm's underway. I used to spell to make a castle in a wall.
As you start talking, Bess, what are you saying?
I would just say to Six, should we see if the commander would like to come to visit?
That might not be a bad idea. Why don't we let them know that we will let the commander know of their arrival, and we'll be back this evening with more word or something. I don't know.
It is probably like 7:30. It is night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
Maybe
sundown.
the
It's now
next
getting
day.
dark.
Perhaps tomorrow then.
Right. And
Yeah.
so as Doran, you're just talking, and Colonel Willows just stares at he looks at you attentively the entire time as you speak. But as Bess and Six kind of finish whispering, you finish, Doran. Colonel Willows is nodding. He says, "You seem to work well as a team. As soon as she began speaking with him privately, you went to distract me. I can appreciate this."
Also, there is a lady in this town who has taken out bounties on all of our heads. Just thought I'd let you know that. We have an amulet on us that keeps us hidden from our scrying abilities.
Ah,
But that duck sounds amazing.
well, I promise you, so long as it's bandits and outlaws and thieves of the sort, my men can handle them. So long as you are here with us, you are more than safe.
She is considered the queen of thieves, actually, here.
Queen of Thieves. Quite a name.
Wouldn't that be the slayer of the queen of thieves? Wouldn't that be a title to hold?
Are you proposing that we hold such a title?
she is becoming a thorn in our sides at this point. She has sent.
We believe.
What is it? 2 groups to kill us?
That's what it appears.
Not to mention, she's actively advocating against any form of solid government outside of what she herself wants to do, rather than ruling
That
in
is true.
favor of what people.
Oh my god, my
what people
dad just
need.
activated the printer wirelessly and actually scared the shit out of me. I almost fell out of my chair. Fuck,
Well,
I'm sorry.
But in order to
Okay.
answer your question, sir, yes, we do work very well together as a team.
So this
I
woman.
mean, Alistair was the one who brought these chairs over. I would never have thought of that.
I'm
Thank
glad
I
to
you,
see
actually
you
have
compliment each
an
other.
illusion for. I enjoy the works of the mind, so I kind of put something together. But then you introduced at the gate, and it wasn't a good time, and I apologize.
He leans back a bit. No, I'd be curious to see what I'm dealing with. Please go ahead.
Oh, cool. I snap my fingers, and a beautifully crafted artisan stall, like you'd see at like a Regal market, pops up. All the chairs, they still feel like the regular chairs, but they look like high end, like you'd pay a hefty amount of platinum for these chairs. There's the small torches that dangle from the not torches, but what's the thing? The torches are in the thing.
Lantern?
Thank you.
The torches are
Um,
in the thing.
You know what I meant.
Oh, big stretch.
Can I do this?
And it's gorgeous. It's not a stall as much as it's a tent,
Uh-huh.
but it is just like astounding. At least that's what Alistair thinks.
Shit, I wanted to see if I could change the opacity. I think I can change the opacity of this. Or opacity? Opacity? Something like that. And
Opacity.
opacity. And kind of make what you're looking for, but I don't know that I can. I feel like I can, I just don't know how.
Sorry, it's super
Are you-
uncomfortable to sit on a bed crisscross
Oh.
applesauce for this long.
Lean up against the wall. That'll help.
It's my legs. I have to stretch my legs, and my laptop's on a TV tray, so I'd be super far away.
Lean
That's
up
why I was
against
laying
your
down. I
legs.
was trying to stretch my legs because they were falling asleep and getting numb.
When
I miss my desk.
when Willows said that he'd like to know what he's dealing with, could I roll an insight check for any ulterior kind of meaning behind that?
You can
'Cause-
roll. You can roll insight.
That just read weird to me.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll.
Fuck. Jason, why'd you post your Discord into the chat?
He
It
does
was
this.
a mistake paste, and instead of deleting it, I pushed the wrong button.
Ah, so now your Discord is just on stream and it will be in the recording. Super cool.
Oh,
You can
Guys,
blur it
yeah.
out, can't you?
don't dox me.
Everyone
You've
go
doxed
add
yourself,
Jason
friend.
Lorig 1094.
Just change your Discord name.
If for some reason, out of
Oh,
nowhere,
don't worry
6
about
years from now, this campaign actually, like, people start watching it on YouTube, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just Jason gets, like, a bunch of people adding him. It's gonna be
Millions
so
of
weird.
friends
Yeah,
requests,
yeah.
yes.
Congrats. Bess, with a 23, as he said that, you got a good look at him. He seems, his expression is super hard to read because he just constantly seems warm and welcoming. Like, he seems, how do I describe this?
You're describing it as sketchy to me.
No, okay, here's the thing. With a 23,
Can I roll for a vibe check?
here's how I'm gonna do this. He is kind of like Iroh from Avatar. He seems like warm and welcoming and just very attentive, just like a great guy. But you
He
get
could
the
dust you
idea
in
that
an
like
instant.
he totally, yeah, kind of. He could dust you in an instant. He kind of knows. He's constantly planning, constantly gathering intel, constantly doing something. So like you gather, you don't think he means any harm by that. He's not like sizing you up per se, or maybe he is, but he's not trying to size you up as a threat, just kind of as assets or allies. You don't feel threatened by it, like just studying him and trying to gauge how he's speaking.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
He continues. So this Queen of Thieves. She has bounties on all of your heads, opposes any formalized government, yet is running some sort of government herself.
Would you
Eh,
call
it's
it a
less of a
government,
government
or a
and-
fight club?
A fight club.
Fight Club.
It's a bunch of
More
people.
of a loose affiliation.
It's a bunch of people who like to do drugs, fight, and kill without any actual punishment, because they outnumber people and they will attack with a lot of cheap tactics and aren't afraid to kill innocents to win.
Have any of you ever raised chickens by chance?
I have
How
sold.
high?
I have sold things that are appearing to be chickens at the moment of sale.
Interesting.
Oh,
I think
sell
from-
them.
Alistair kind of looks over to him like, "What the fuck?" And then he turns back. It is like a dimly lit glow, though. The torches do emit light.
Yeah, so you guys are
Lanterns.
currently, I can't put it down without covering your tokens, but you're currently like in a very ornate, beautiful tent.
Very nice.
On hard wooden chairs, but they look comfier than they are.
Oh.
Nice. I would say that Bess would have, just considering
Okay.
the area that we lived in.
Then you would confirm that what he says makes some sense. Well, next, he continues, well, raising chickens, they aren't people. They have a simple structure, a pecking order, if you will. The one who pecks hardest is in charge. It seems to me like this queen is the one who pecks hardest. And do you know what happens when you eliminate the chicken in charge?
Chaos!
Absolute chaos. Without people to be in charge and guide the chickens and feed them and provide a sense of stability, the strongest is in charge. And without the strongest, nobody is. It sounds to
But
me
that's-
like if you want to take care of this queen and this group of outlaws at the same time, you disassemble the pecking order.
All right, and you are willing to help with that?
He leans back. Don't get me wrong. I want to do what's best for you and for the people of Priest and for the people of Direwood and my men. But yes, I do. But it is up to my superiors. This sounds like, how many are in this group, if you could call it that?
Fuck if I know. Right now,
Would I be able to recall?
I mean, with the four of you, you could say you could kind of just guess anywhere from...
Well, I've operated there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So between the four of you, probably anywhere from like 50 to 100 people kind of go in and out.
a lot.
We'd relay the 50 to 100.
Between a good force of cloaked rangers and my men, there would be casualties. I don't know how able-bodied these individuals are within this new republic, but if they can survive within the city walls, they'd be a formidable opponent. So, we could do it, but there would be casualties, and it would be messy. I don't think I could make a move like that without proper orders.
Right now, the thing is about them is and why they're kind of one of our high priorities. If she wants to kill us, she doesn't care who gets harmed to succeed. So, right now, a lot of the innocent civilians and people of Direwood are at risk because if she wants us out of the picture. Okay, how do I phrase this? I have worked in dark circles in my past lives. The easiest way to get to people who are heroes like us is to hurt innocent people till they bend. Because they can't hurt us, so kill innocents so we fold.
Has she been killing innocents?
Not yet, but we think she will.
Has she, Holden? Have they killed other people in order to get to us?
You
Well,
guys...
they kind of tried to kill Pettifer,
Mhm.
but it wasn't to get to
You
us.
witnessed Pettifer, his life nearly taken firsthand, but you haven't personally seen the New Republic attack anyone. There are, rumors and stories and talks of the New Republic raiding people in the main gate and anybody who's in, harassing adventurers and such, but you haven't ever seen them actually do that. At this point, what appears to be crew members of the ship begin bringing down barrels and chests and hauling it in with the aid of the soldiers into the main Cloaked Rangers headquarters.
So, right now, do I look like a soldier in soft camo? Do I?
I think you do.
I have to put on
Every
my
time I glance
turtleneck.
over, with the camo, the haircut, and the headset, just makes you look like you're flying a drone bomber. I don't know what-
Hey man, I'm in my parents' basement. Leave me alone. I don't have to dress for success
was-
right now.
that-
No, I
That
don't
was
dress
not meant
for
to be an insult.
I don't have to dress for success.
Does
I'm taking
this-
care of my mummy.
Does this Queen of Thieves, has she ever struck out before? Has she attacked you personally?
Dorn wasn't there for when we actually directly attacked her, so
No, you were.
Yeah,
you
did
counterspelled
she,
her,
or did she just?
or you attempted to.
Did she just like do her float away trick? Did she actually attack us?
I don't know.
I don't-
Did she?
Recall. Broken.
Holden, would I recall?
Technically, with your feet, even though it's post what happened, technically this happened within 30 days, you would recall. I don't think she directly attacked any of you.
I don't think she did. I think she just basically went ghosty and floated away. That was her first thing.
Sounds to me like if you really want to take care of this group, you take care of her, but a full-on assault might not be the best option. It is an option, perhaps if I had reinforcements, or if the Pretian officials had more to gain. I don't know the full scope of our aid here. I presume Priest is gaining something from this, mostly a stake in Direwood's future. But I would think something a bit more covert, something a bit more targeted. If you were to find out where she stays or where she is, and take her out solo.
For tacos. Oh.
No. If you were to take her out alone, it would only be a matter of time until this group of outlaws disbanded to the point that it would be less of a full assault to take them out and more like mopping up the city with the rest of the rats. Just a
Thinking about-
thought.
we have just been told by people in her group that she does have power, and that actually it'd be a tough fight for just us.
Are you up to the task?
I don't feel like dying most of the time.
Like to
I don't feel
spy
like
on her a
killing
little
most
bit
of the
more
time.
before moving. Before acting, I'd like to spy a little bit more. I have a scrying orb that we've been able to.
Excellent.
We were just going over some of the tasks that we have in the city currently. There's the overarching one of rats.
There's rats everywhere all the time.
And we will be
Semi-intelligent.
any that come out this way. I assure you, won't last long.
Also, there's the fact that they worship a rat god.
A rat god.
Oh, if you do see us talking to rats, though, some, not all of the rats are bad. Who are the Marcus's rats? Where are they?
They're up at the mill.
There are some rats up at the mill that shouldn't be attacked.
That is correct. There's a small group of friendly rats that have been more than
They've
helpful.
aided us a ton.
They ate our horses.
But no.
They didn't know they weren't supposed to eat the horses, Doran.
What other strange allies do you have in your midst?
Do you know of the Church of the Rock?
There's a fish man. He went north a little while ago. A wolf boy. Potentially the prince of Direwood. I mean, we've met some folks.
A large gay man.
Well, Well then, it seems you have plenty of people to call upon.
Yes, but the church practice we try to practice as much non-violence as possible. I'm one of the few exceptions to that rule. And I kind of gesture to the rock in my chest, like I am again the ambassador for them. I am the exception to the non-violence rule because of my participation in helping make Direwood home to Direwoodians and any other travelers, and of course the church.
I have heard of this religious sect. Not much, though. I'm mostly just aware of its existence.
So the pamphlets are working, thank God.
Well, more so from scouting, but if you have a pamphlet, I'd be more than happy to look over it.
I have a template in mind. They're still back at the church.
Very well.
I don't carry pamphlets with me. I should. I'll jot that down. I will pull out a piece of paper and a quill and not actually dip my quill in ink. I'm just going to pretend to write something and then put it back in my pocket.
I also meant to ask, where's Niclean? That old bastard.
Oh, we should see.
Yes?
He is back towards Shinebright, helping the commander there.
The old Shinebright Manor.
That is correct.
Intriguing. I knew the mage that
Why?
once owned that place.
Oh.
Crazy
You knew
son
the
of
what?
a bitch. A mage.
We did too.
Wizard
We killed him.
Shinebright. What? You...
Oh, he was evil. He turned all the rats into creatures and attacked the city of Direwood.
I don't think that's the same
Shinebright?
wizard.
That doesn't
He's not
sound
the
like
same
him.
one? Wait.
You're thinking of Zimmer. Zimmer was the villain who was about at the halfway point of us being a party. And we
Dr.
killed-
Zimmer?
Dr.
Was it-
Zimmer, Dr.
Of,
Zimmer.
of the Mages Guild.
Yeah, he's the one who went evil and tried to get a bunch of rats together.
Zimmer. Was... he... Do go on.
Well, I actually don't know much. This was before I joined the party. From what I know, he was an evil man who tricked the rats into following him, and then he tried to weaponize them against the city.
He was certainly shifty,
true.
but he was a valuable asset to the Mages Guild.
He was
At
also
one point,
crazy.
certainly.
Very well.
We have a testimony from his
Niece?
Bess, I forget what relation you are to him. There you are. That's Bess right there.
I am indeed his niece.
Boom! Blake nailed it. 10
You're
points,
little
Gryffindor.
Elizabeth?
Indeed, I am.
Good God, I haven't seen you in years. Oh, and he gets up and he like walks over to you and he just like places his hands on your shoulders and starts just like inspecting you. You were about, and he lifts he puts his hand down to like a foot off the ground. You were this big when I last saw you. I can't believe it.
When I first saw her, she was this big, I say, holding out small hands.
What?
Also a rat.
Zimmer,
Oh, no.
Zimmer.
No, he didn't.
He did. He did.
Is he no longer with us?
No, he is no longer with us, and neither is my mother.
See him kind of grimace a little, nod his head. Good. Fine. Well, it's good to see you again. You probably don't remember me, but I was friends with Zimmer. Sort of.
What was he like?
He was always a bit conniving, but it was never I didn't think he ever had malintent. He was a brilliant man with so many ideas, and he genuinely seemed to want to better the world. He was working on a power source. In fact, he was working on he was trying to.
You can see it all around us, I say. This purple crystal that has been...
Yes, hysterium. We should probably don't
The
touch
the
the
rock.
purple rocks.
I
The rock.
had a hunch that the hysterium was a product of his research. He was working on... Are you aware of what he worked on? He goes and actually sits back down. His main...
Was it a rock that came to life and became a god and slowly took over a group of people, potentially tricking them into giving up their lives, or is that not?
I glare at Six a little bit.
I said potentially, Doran.
I don't know what that has to do with
Tell
it.
your story then.
Well, when I last saw him, this is many years ago, back when I was actually about your age, Bess. He was working on something I didn't think possible, a new form of magic, a new school, if you will. And the rock, the hysterium as you call it, was something he had actually found, something that had fallen from the sky, some sort of strange... He called it a gift from the gods for his research. I called it a natural phenomenon, but he believed it was the key to unlocking this new school of magic. It was meant to be a power source. Yes, some falling rock, and encased within it was this crystal. Well, something like it anyway. He spent many years, many years experimenting with it, refining it.
Until it exploded.
Ostensibly
Wiped out
so.
Direwood.
That's beginning to look like the picture we're looking at, yes. But he didn't seem to have any malintent. I can't imagine why he would do what he did to Bess, or what I imagine he did to Bess, and then control Rast, take over the city, destroy. I don't understand. This is all jarring. That is not the man I knew.
Hysterium can cause madness.
We've seen that.
Do you think that... I mean, I suppose over the years, as he worked with it, he did become a bit more zealous about it. I always just thought he was driven, to a fault. He would stay up all night.
He
Was
that
zealous
he would
self
he,
or
he
was
would
a zealot. Made a rock but couldn't sell it.
Alistair kind of
Yeah.
claps at that one. He looks at Six and he claps a little. He goes, that was a good one.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I thought he was the bard, pointing at Alistair.
I am, but
He smiles and then looks back to Bess. You were saying.
Oh, I was just going to say, I remember when he was nice too, and then
Don't be
it
doing
didn't
that.
last.
You see him grow a bit more solemn. He kind of sinks into his chair a little bit. If it's any comfort, perhaps his research changed him. I saw it myself, but I just thought... I didn't think the hysterium was actually affecting him. I thought he was just driven. I thought he was a little too keen on his research, as many mages become. But, he was a good man. He did a lot. He cared for you greatly. I'm sorry, Bess.
His partner's still alive. He's working with the Church of the Rock. Doran knows a little more about the whole Church of the Rock thing, but there
Partner?
could be more answers there.
Did he have a... I know he had a research assistant, but a partner?
His name is Marcus.
Malcolm.
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 Toneweaver.
Malcolm Toneweaver.
That rings a bell, but I don't... That doesn't sound from... maybe. I don't think I ever met a Malcolm Toneweaver.
Well, he seems to be a decent enough guy if he isn't just running off and leaving his friends' places now, so...
I presume that's another story. Well... We have much to discuss, and Bess, I'd be glad to tell you more if you'd like. But for now, it's getting quite dark. And he looks around, and this whole time there were people kind of hauling in supplies and kind of chatting, and maybe some underlings who had some semblance of authority, shouting, you should work on this, take that position, you go, clean this up, whatever. But things begin.
Perhaps we
are
will
dying
join you
down.
for dinner this evening, and
Yeah.
perhaps
he-
you will join us tomorrow.
He looks over. I think it's about time. I'm going to go give the ship the cue to leave. I can't stay here. We don't want to risk such new technology. But yeah, we would love to have you, and perhaps you could say a few words to the troops.
Happy to.
Excellent.
I forgot to mention it, but when the illusion popped up, the chair that was tipped over vanished.
Oh.
It's still there. It's just invisible.
yeah. So
Because there was an odd number of chairs. So Alistair fixed it with that wave, and then now that everybody fixed their chairs up, it's no longer needed.
Alistair
So
just
one of the
happy with
chairs
the
is just
symmetry.
gone.
Yeah. He says, I was told there's a mess hall. I will give the order to rally everybody and head in there. And I will meet you in there.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for your time. I'll see you soon. He gets up and his three the three men here escort him, and he begins to make, along with a chair apparently, he makes his way out the gate back to the ship. What will you guys do?
Well, that went well.
So far, so good. I attempt to help with the carrying of goods and the setting up of a kitchen or whatever it is they're doing here.
Oh, it kind of
We'll
appears
just
like
chip
that
on
has finished up.
I want to
Oh,
make
that's-
friends.
You
I
want to
wanna
make
talk-
friends?
I want to make friends.
Would I have recognized any of the soldiers from Greece?
Just roll a d20 for me.
You know what, I will.
What if he doesn't want to hold it?
13. No, I mean
Damn
there,
it.
there may be a few faces that you might have glimpsed in your time in Priest, maybe people you saw in the bar once or twice, but nobody you know the name of or anything.
Gotcha.
You do notice that you do get a couple of looks like people like, is that? Nah, and they just move on.
No, it's not. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, it is.
Right. But eventually, most of the forces have made their way into the mess hall. Do you guys just go all in and join them?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. And do you bring the chairs back as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So
mean,
you're all.
I would still try to talk to people and make friends.
You're gonna try and make friends. Make a charisma check.
I will make a Christmas check for you, Olin. Ah! Oh, fuck me. Nothing but poor rolls tonight.
You do try to make friends. You give a few. Well, let's see. You give some highs. You try to. Oh, okay. You try to ingratiate yourself with these people as you typically do, but most of them seem very well. Very well disciplined, and give you friendly nods and waves. But as you try to initiate conversation, they go on their way and continue their work. Not making any friends yet. With that, as you guys enter the old Cloaked Rangers headquarters, familiar to some of you, and make your way into the mess hall, you do hear that from outside.
It
Did it-
noise gates out that noise. You're
Does
just going,
oh, okay. You hear that the climbing in tone whining of the ship. That's gonna be funny. The Discord must be doing that because my mic is picking it up. So in the recording, everyone's gonna hear me going, but and you guys just hear, yeah.
It just
But
goes for like half a second. You
you get the idea though. And you can actually feel just a light breeze from these canvas wings on the side of the ship start to flap and pick itself up, and you just give a quick look
that's
back.
a lot of lift.
You see it slowly make its way up, and now you can see as it lifts off, there's almost like a glowing energy to the wings, almost like an octarine glow, just ever so slightly now that you're this close, as it lifts up and turns around slowly, and slowly, probably just about the same as a walking speed, starts to make its way back to Priest.
I turned to 6. Well, you've got to get one of those.
In black with a leather package.
Don't know what that means, but I want purple stripes.
Yeah, we can do that. That's fine.
Fuck yes.
Right then, you guys make your way inside, and eventually, you can see many of the soldiers have sat down behind the familiar line where people typically, receive their food. There are already a couple of people. Looks like a couple of the workers from the ship who stayed there to act as cooks. They're handing out big old plates, like fairly nice proper plates of roast duck with a side of potatoes.
Ooh.
And tonight,
Are the potatoes roasted as well?
yes.
No,
Ah,
raw.
Pretty good.
roast duck and potatoes, and a side of your choice of either ale or water.
I only take water.
So a lovely meal
me
for
up,
today. And
if you
the
don't mind.
smells, you know, the smells as soon as you walk in, it is so strange smelling such a delicious meal in this place where you used to just have stew. A basic stew.
And rats.
And occasionally and eggs, occasionally eggs.
Occasionally eggs.
But
Zephyr is happy wherever he is.
you guys, yeah, he's having all the eggs in the world.
Is he?
Do you want to know the answer to that?
No,
Yeah,
because he's
not
not
all
railing
of them,
that
because
chicken
that would
anymore.
That would be, I'm sorry.
be too many eggs.
Well, I'll just tell you this. In my head, after Zelfer had disappeared, his family were farmers.
Okay.
So
Man's getting eggs.
they may or may not have chickens. They may or may not be having eggs for breakfast. Zelfer
Every
may or
day,
may not be
forever.
very happy every morning. But you guys eventually find your old familiar seats at some point. And people are chatting and you know, you can just gather from listening to the way everyone's talking that there's a mixture. There's a mixture of like excitement, and some people are like, oh, I can't believe I was chosen for this. I didn't want to be here. And others are like, what are you even gonna do? And others are like, no, this is amazing. Like, actually, hold on. Is anyone actually like super paying attention, or are you guys kind of on your own?
I'm
I
paying
would
attention.
like to
Best would be paying attention.
You're all
to
paying
hear the intentions of the people there.
Make all of you a group perception check.
Do I have to?
This
For
cat is sacked out.
You have to if you
on
wanna be
my
listening.
computer.
It's such a long day.
17, 14, 12, and 27. The rest of
Damn.
you, yeah, all of you hear people like, you know, this mixture of what people are talking about. Some are excited, and, you know, some are bored. Some are like, I miss my cozy spot back in Priest. Alistair, you do hear one person go, man, I just want to go back to the Boiling Boar. They had the best rum. It was, and, you know, that brings a small
Alistair
smile
kind of
to your
puffs
face.
up his chest a little bit. in
Yeah,
pride.
it brings a little smile to your face, and you're like, yeah. Alistair, you in particular, though, I have to take you to Secret Secrets for just a moment.
Okay, I'll pull out some trivia questions.
Oh, no.
All right.
You in particular, as you hear that one man say about the Boiling Boar, as everybody else is kind of just, you can tell they're keeping an ear out, kind of trying to gauge everyone. Doesn't seem to be anything substantial. That man who spoke about the Boiling Boar, somebody next to him, who seems a little more decorated, one of the actual personal guards of Colonel Willows, very quietly leans over and is like, yes, perhaps, but we're a part of history here. Priest's expansion be worldwide, known as such a military might. We'll be taking over the whole area in no time. And the guy kind of looks around, looks back at him. Well, yeah, but like, not in our lifetimes, right? And the man looks back at him, just shrugs. Maybe. I mean, you saw that ship? It flew. We flew here. And they kind of nod to each other, and that's mostly it.
All right, noted.
All right. Are you finished with your trivia?
Incorrect.
Oh God.
It is
Really?
It is Polly the ghost.
God, I
Oh,
wish I could partake in
fascinating.
some of this trivia.
You guys.
We'll be around afterwards. Don't worry about it.
Really? I have to go take care of my mother or
Yeah.
help.
So as you guys are sitting around listening, eventually Colonel Willows does enter, and walks in, gathers a plate of food, and actually comes to sit next to you guys. And his guard, you see him kind of give like a nod, or kind of more of a head gesture away from himself, and his personal guard do kind of disperse. They stay very nearby, you know, sitting at like opposite table of you, but like they give him space, and he comes and sits amongst the four of you.
I kind of look at him. All right, this is going to be a question. Do you need them to protect yourself, or are you strong enough that you think you could handle your own?
He smiles and takes out his flask of tea, takes a sip. Much like the flask, the guards may or may not be a diversion. I like to keep that a secret.
So I'm going to assume they are a diversion, because if they weren't, most people would stand true by it and be like, no, I don't need them, because that would make sense, you know.
He just gives you a wink.
I smile and go, you want to see some fun things that I can do?
He looks around. Perhaps if it isn't too disruptive. We've had
Have
a
I
long
heard
day.
Have I heard him talk for a minute?
Oh, absolutely.
I morph into him completely with my clothes changing to match his, and I match his voice and go, if it's not too much of a distraction, we've had a long day.
He leans back a bit.
That was a hit.
takes a big old bite of roast duck, chews.
I do the same thing, like a fucking mirror.
He leans in real close to you.
I lean in just as close. And the closer I get, the more I'm morphing my face to match even the acute details. Because the more I can see of him, the more I can match it properly.
You see a smile slowly creep across his face.
At this point, the assassin enters the room and seeing two commanders rolls a die 2 to see who dies.
But as you guys are kind of like almost nose to nose, and he starts curling a smile, and in response, you curl an equal smile, shaping your teeth to look like his. And very abruptly, he leans back, and he's just like, "That's quite a trick. That's quite a
You still
trick."
smell different.
As I lean back, I turn into Nicklin and go, yeah, I can do a lot of things. I'm the best there is.
I see you've got him nailed as well.
Do Zimmer.
I never met Zimmer. He was dead.
Six looks disappointed.
You
I
say
go, I
do
can-
Zimmer, and immediately the laugh disappears from Willow's face.
Oh.
Right.
I go, well, I can do stuff like that. And I turn back to Doran. I can actually mimic anything mostly. My clothes change appearance.
Well, that's incredible.
I change appearance. If I've heard someone talk for a minute, I can mimic their speech exactly.
That's not magic. That's just talent.
Oh, that one's talent. Everything else is me.
Why haven't you used this against the queen?
Because it seems as though she can do it too.
No, not to her. To those around her.
I
To
don't think.
give conflicting orders?
Well,
I
if
don't
she
think
gives
Doran
orders.
has heard the queen talk for a minute, has he?
I
No,
don't
not
think so,
quite.
actually.
Yeah, he's not normally around the queen. No, he has, because he came to his chambers one night because he thought she was gonna sleep with him.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. You have.
I look at Six and go, why the fuck haven't I done that? Because I'd have to be alone, and I'm terrified of being alone. I'm a coward at that.
No. You could. Well, perhaps you could be alone. Maybe the rest of you could be in disguises, or I don't know. This just seems like a very if my idea is the one you would like to follow, and you'd like to sow disorder into her already disorderly gang, what better a way than to do it as her?
Oh, so she's flippy floppy with her personalities.
Well,
We
then it
should
would be
make
quite easy for you to disguise yourself as her and act like her if nobody knows what she acts like.
Very true. I actually have a plan now. It's going to take me a few hours, but I can turn you all invisible for a while.
Excellent. Well, seems I've helped already.
I, without changing my fears, just matches.
And he immediately begins laughing again. Just oh, wow. I did not expect to make friends this quickly.
I have
hold on.
something interesting, I say.
You have
Go
his
ahead.
attention.
I reach into my bag and pull out the jar of jumping teeth. And I put them away.
He looks around. He kind of looks over at Bess. And then back to you. And then over at Bess. And Bess, he just kind of raises one eyebrow at you.
I smile.
He nods.
Those are jumping teeth.
That is, in fact, interesting.
As you can see, we're quirky as fuck. Just a real ragtag group here. So you'll
You
fit
want to
right
see
in.
my stilts?
I think a ragtag group is the only one that could do the kinds of things I've heard you have done. Bess, Stilts,
Yes.
aren't you a colonel?
Yes.
A colonel on stilts occasionally.
What if you have to
Yes.
see from a far distance?
Bess, I would love
I
to see
don't
your
have height
stilts.
is my advantage, so I need some artificial height.
Oh,
It
Alistair.
really makes people respect me more.
Alistair, why don't you slash whisper at Bess in roll 20 what you heard?
Okay. Do you want to send me just a spark notes of it real quick? Because I can't remember fully. I know the kind of the main points.
You guys can always go to
Um,
Secret Secrets, and we can just keep playing trivia.
You're the worst, Blake.
Do you want to go to Secret Secrets, or do you want to send her a message on Roll20?
I'll just message her on Discord.
Okay, because I'm
Yeah,
not going to
Discord
give
would
you
be
Spark
easier for
Notes.
me.
You heard what you heard. Yeah, so he's saying this in your mind best, but he continues.
This would have been while Doran and Willow were doing their matching game.
Got you. Okay, yeah, so you can send that over, and best just let me know when he sent it, or you let me know when you sent it. But in the meantime, beyond that, he continues, well, spirits are, he kind of looks around, mostly high. I think now would be a good time if any of you had any words to say to the task force, as you have so aptly named them. Now would be the time.
I look to 6.
I look to 6.
6 nods and stands. And
You would remember there is
holds
a
his
kind of
glass.
center platform. Are you going to go up to the kind of center slightly raised platform at the end of the room, or are you just going to stand there and raise
I
your
will.
glass?
I will
Okay.
do that.
You head up there.
I actually am gonna follow. I'm not gonna speak, but I'm gonna stand next to him.
Okay, so you go up with him, and the Colonel Willows, Ramson, he stands up and he just yells, "Attention!" And all at once, like a snap of the finger, the room is silent. And he says to the room, they all look to him, and he says to the room, "Now you will give your full attention and respect to these members, these colonels of the Cloaked Rangers." And he sits down, and all eyes are on you two.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Okay, cool.
You can send that to Bess as a whisper. So Bess, this would have been
Done
before
it,
you
done
headed up.
her.
So if you want to read that quick, and then this is when you guys will head up. And that should be in Roll20 as a whisper.
I sent it to her via Discord.
Oh, perfect. Never mind. Did you get it, sweetie?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. So you two head up, Bess with this in mind. And yeah, with Ramson's Colonel Willow, whatever you want to call him, his help, all eyes are on you. The room is dead silent. Nobody's even eating or taking a sip.
Doran takes one extra bite after everyone else has.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, everybody's like sat up straight, giving your full attention and respect. These are disciplined soldiers, and Doran's just like,
And then he stops.
It's like in class in high school when everybody would clap for a presentation. There'd be like a contest to see who could clap last.
I normally won those
Right.
contests because
Yeah, you did because you're annoying as fuck, and I hate you.
and I don't care to piss off teachers. What are they gonna do? Get me in trouble? Yeah.
excellent
All right.
start. Oh, that's not such a
Protectors
start.
of priests.
Yes.
We first thank you for your presence. This is a difficult time for the people of Direwood, and your assistance could potentially make all the difference in the world. We find ourselves embarking on a new mission, one of encouraged cooperation, extended friendship, and oh, that's my time. Thank you. Good night. We find ourselves on this adventure together for perhaps the first time. Well, not the first time. We've been cooperating for a while now, but we seem to be moving into a new area, a new period of growth, hopefully, for both of our kingdoms, both of our cities. I believe you are here because you have done an amazing job of defending priests. I believe you have been sent to us because of your actions, because of what you have been able to accomplish. And that priests itself, right now, finds itself in a relatively safe position. That is why you have been chosen to come out here with us and try something new, something that perhaps we will not be successful at, but something that if we do not attempt, will echo through this region for aeons to come. This is not a standard operating procedure. We will not be invading a town or a castle or a group of forces. We will be potentially fighting guerrillas, not the large hairy ape type creatures, but the one spelled with a U and an E. And then Six looks around and nods affirmatively at that. A new challenge for the region's best warriors. A chance to change things in our own image, to make things better for the next generation and the others that live with us currently. We have this power, we have this opportunity, and with a little judgment and some luck and all of the skills that we have individually and as a group, I do not see how we can fail.
We have a chance to make history as a major military superpower, Beth would say.
With that, Alistair, you would notice right away the man who you heard kind of say that just kind of like tenses up. He still sat there just like he tenses up. And Doran and Alistair sat next to Colonel Willows. You would just, actually, using your premises. No, you do not notice anything. He does not seem to change at all, his demeanor. But as Beth says that in a conclusion, he stands, Willows stands up, mug in hand. Hear, hear! In the entire room. Hear, hear! And he says, my fellow Pretians, alongside the Cloaked Rangers and the legendary Bronze Toads, in the coming weeks, we will make history! And everybody, huzzah! And they all lift their glasses and people begin to chatter and talk once again. But Alistair, you notice that one guy's just sat there like frozen, and he just kind of slowly goes back to his food and starts eating.
I lean into Best and I go, nice job. That was good.
And
Oh, we gotta thank Alistair for that, I whisper. We'll have to talk tonight.
And Willows looks to you two standing up there, raises his glasses like a personal toast to you, takes a sip, sits back down.
Is the guy within 100 feet of me?
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. I don't want to spoil the good mood. Although he is not having a very good time, I don't want to make it worse.
Okay. And with that, Willows sits back down and kind of beckons for you two to come join again.
I do. We do.
As you do, and you sit back down, he says, well spoken.
I'm not one for speeches, but I do my best.
You did just fine.
Once Six sits back down, I look over to him and goes, Ian, I go, you'll never believe the idiots who got up on stage when you were gone. After thinking of I just keep eating and go, oh. just as if nothing had changed.
Bess, after he says this to Six, Willow's kind of, he looks at you, not threateningly, but, you know, with that welcoming, warm demeanor gone, just kind of more of a neutral expression. He looks back to you, and a great addendum to the speech. Very uplifting. And he goes back to eating. I'm proud to see what you've grown to be, Bess.
Thank you.
Very good. And he continues eating his roast duck, which is cooked deliciously, by the way. You guys' meals are best meals you've had in a bit. Actually, best meals you've had since the mansion.
I miss the mansion.
Hey, next level, baby.
There you go. I look around the room and I say, I hate to be a dour one, but this is usually when the other shoe drops. So if you have something that you've been hiding, go ahead and tell us now. Otherwise, we're good.
Is there another shoe to drop?
I normally
There's
wear
always
two.
another shoe.
I mean, a lot of people lie to us. You'd be surprised. Six is oddly gullible. Want to see? Six, I have green
Dora.
hair.
Well, perhaps you all are used to lying, but I have not willingly lied to you as of yet.
We're not.
Can I roll for
Used to
insight on
lying.
that?
Oh, yeah.
Willingly lying?
The second he says willingly, I repeat it back to him. Willingly?
Doran, it's called tactical lying.
Oh.
What type of lie is
Yeah,
not willing?
Bess, you can still roll the insight, but yeah, you pick up on the exact same thing as everybody else. The willingly, out of place, very odd.
I asked, but what do you mean by willingly?
I mean, I haven't lied to you blatantly. There are some things I have been asked not to tell you. Military secrecy, of course, but nothing I think would change the situation.
Are you planning on completely invading Direwood and adding as an extension to a priest?
I'm not.
Fair. That would be a weird idea.
That'd be a terrible thing to hide from everybody.
It would, and that would change things.
I wish I hadn't used read thoughts earlier. God damn it.
He looks around the room and looks at the four of you. Would you like to speak privately?
I want to speak to one of your fellows down there, so I'm going to do that. If you guys want to talk to him, feel free.
Actually, let me rephrase. I would like to speak with you all privately.
Sure.
Talk to me first.
Only if I can wear my stilts.
I will not stop you from wearing your stilts, Elizabeth. But, Alistair, I would please...
Bess.
Bess, sorry. I'll have to get used to that. Alistair, if you would come with me, I would be most appreciative.
Fine.
Are you gonna stab us?
He looks at the four of you as he takes one more big bite of his roast duck and finishes swallows quickly. He kind of sizes the four of you up. I have a feeling in an enclosed space I could take one or two of you, but I would be bested. This way.
I don't think we have anything to fear, Doran, I say.
Oh, I just like to ask questions, because normally when you ask what someone's thinking directly, they tend to panic slightly.
Yeah, and he stands up and leads you out of the mess hall, assuming you all follow.
Well, Doran, what are you thinking?
Right now, I miss my mansion.
Doran, you miss your mansion. I know what you're thinking.
He actually leads you through some winding corridors to a room some of you remember. Light's old office.
This is a weird room. I don't remember it.
Yeah, he steps in. I assume some of you are familiar with this. I was given the layout of this building before, and this seemed a proper spot. And he steps in, and he allows you all in, closes the door, and locks it behind you. And he doesn't go behind Light's old desk. He just kind of stands in the corner. He leans against the door and crosses his arms and just leans there.
I go behind Light's old desk and sit down.
Sure. Yeah, you're sitting in his old desk. Feels oddly.
Can I tell this is Light's?
Actually, I mean, there's nothing in here that would scream like this was the commander's office. I don't think.
This was the commander's office, I say.
I start ruffling through the desk, see if there's anything for me.
There's nothing left in there.
Doran,
you would find some you might find some parchment, some paper, like clear, but nothing. It seems like it was cleaned out quite well.
Doran, you should carve Doran was here on the desk.
From what I've heard of the commander, he would probably hate that, but
absolutely.
I didn't see it. Now,
I start doing it, by the way.
You're asking a lot of questions I don't like. Please, I don't want my men to be... I don't want them to not trust you. So, if you have something to say it now to me.
One of them was talking about turning priests into a magnificent superpower, military-wise, earlier.
I believe we already are.
I know, but steamrolling, the little ones over.
Did he say that?
Such as us. No, but it was implied. Now, I know implications are dangerous to tow around, but
listen,
there are implications nonetheless.
It's no secret to any of us in this room that priests as a whole, the military officials and the leaders, are probably looking to make a foothold here. I've been open with you about that from the start. The extent of which, how deep that foothold digs, I do not know. If you have your suspicions, please voice them now.
Are you really trying to help the betterment of Direwood, or is it purely the betterment of priests?
More the latter than the former, but both. I am here on Priest's behalf. As part of that, I am here for Direwood.
By whose orders are you here?
Oh god, that would be the military. He says you recognize the title of like the military leader of priests. He says by orders of the Shield of Priests.
Yeah.
So man, speaking is difficult when you don't think about it beforehand. What made you jump at the opportunity to take over the space? Was it the foothold, as you were talking?
Did not jump at the opportunity. I was personally asked.
My thought process is, from what I've heard from the commander, is he's asked for help multiple times from you guys. Why now?
Why do you think?
I have no clue.
I believe that's why we're asking.
I've only been with this group for what the fuck, Jason?
Sorry.
6 just starts robotically. Stat, score, mod, strength, 10, 0. Dex, 10, 0.
So
I didn't no, that was anyway.
I have no clue. I've only been with the Bronze Toads for a little bit, not long.
Perhaps you do not know anything for certain, but do you have any ideas, any of you?
I'll look at 6.
Can you repeat the question?
Why now? Why would priests jump at the opportunity to help Direwood now?
Oh, I would say that it's impossible for us to, at this point, discern the intentions of every person attached to this mission. But strategically, it would be an opportunity to gain some more land for a city. I'm not directly opposed to that. I wouldn't say. I think.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm not saying that I believe that is the case. I'm simply sort of playing devil's advocate in which were there multiple requests for help and whatnot, at some point. Sorry, I lost my train of thought really bad. What I'm essentially trying to say is that you can never be too careful or cautious, and yes, this would be a decent time to scout an attack raid. Do I believe that's the case? No. I do not believe our friends from Paris are here to do exactly that. But their observations will be run up
Holden,
command polls.
can I tell if he's like looking for a specific event for us to list as like a reason, or
You can roll insight.
I would love to do that.
With a 10, he's got that kind of like welcoming yet secretive, like a neutral look on his face. He's hard to read. You really can't tell much. But as 6 kind of finishes just surmising, thinking out loud, he says, "Here's the thing. I ask you because I don't know myself. My orders were to come here and establish a foothold and work with the Cloaked Rangers. As far as I'm concerned, Priest's interest in Direwood is exactly what you would think. We are here to help the people of Direwood. Think of it as an investment. We help you now, you help us later.
Together we are stronger than we will ever be alone.
Precisely.
Especially if one of us is dead.
Precisely. I think, personally, that Priest is here to help as an investment so that in the future, if we ever desperately needed resources, help, we ever needed anything from anyone, we could call on Direwood, or perhaps we would have a stake here and could impose perhaps a bit of our way of life upon the people here. That's my best guess. However, why now? I don't know. Why we have said no, I honestly, up until now, thought perhaps it was because there was little hope for Direwood. Most thought it would be an empty city within a couple decades. But since the Bronze Toads started doing their work and then visited priests, made an impression on some people, I thought perhaps you had swayed the people and the government was trying to follow the will of the people. If there are other motives, I am unaware of them. If priests as a whole, if the shield of priests wanted to wipe out the Cloaked Rangers, wipe out whatever was within the walls of Direwood, and simply take it. It would be an effort. It would be a battle that lasted anywhere from a few weeks to a year, at my best estimate. But we could certainly do it. If we had any truly overtly hostile intentions, you would know it. But not for long.
I believe that's true as well.
If that comforts or frightens you, I'm sorry.
I think it does neither. I believe it is just the way things are. And
I'm glad we have an understanding.
How blindly do you follow orders as a group? If they ordered you right now, you got a message to just start slaughtering citizens, do you do it?
Is that all the order says? You are to begin slaughtering the citizens of Direwood.
Yes, if it just told you to start killing them.
I have worked very hard for very long to attain the position I have now. I have built a rapport with the Shield of Priests. I have built a rapport with the people and with my soldiers. I would feel in a position to ask why.
Is there a reason that they would give you that would convince you to start slaughtering innocent people?
It would have to be a damn good reason. I don't know.
Alright.
Perhaps the people of Direwood are all not what they seem, or they are monsters. They are all infected with a plague that, if it is not snuffed out now, will engulf all of the world and kill everyone. It would have to be something extreme.
That's when the hell is the
Reasonable,
plague doctor
says
to
six.
figure that one out.
Alright, why'd they send you?
Another good question.
Is it because you're good at keeping secrets?
I am good at keeping secrets, but I am also known for tactically inserting secrets where I believe they would help me. So, knowing that, if priests had a secret they wanted kept from you or from the Cloaked Rangers, I don't think they would chance sending me. Or they would because they'd know I'd spill the beans and hope that I do.
I knew there were beans.
How many of your military are magically capable that are with us right now?
With us right now, a few might know a couple of cantrips.
None
There are some basic healers among us.
But you're mostly brunt force.
The riders are capable of some magics, but otherwise, mostly just very well-trained soldiers. Now, I've been asked several questions. We're being transparent with each other. What about you? How many are actually among the Cloaked Rangers?
700.
Do you say that?
Yes,
Do you know-
completely straight-faced.
Do you know that you're lying?
Yeah, but he can't tell because of the ring.
I
Okay.
don't think that's right, Alistair.
You say
Oh, yeah,
700
it was-
and he goes, "Oh." And then and Six says, "I don't think that's right." He goes, "Huh."
I go,
You're right.
How many are there? I asked 6 PM because Doran has talked to a majority of the people in the town, if not everyone, a few times.
Are we
What's our
counting Direwood citizens as members of the Cloaked Rangers?
I'm asking about the Cloaked Rangers in particular, but my next question was citizens.
Being my keen-minded self, I would relay him with approximations.
You would be quite certain that there are probably about 68 Cloaked Rangers, including the officers such as Light, and 243 citizens.
And Falling.
Is that 233 including me?
No, 243 citizens, not including yourselves.
244 me. I'm one of those.
Okay, got it. If
And
I'm
then
adding
the-
you, that's 244.
And then there
But we
is
do
these 3 who are ranking
Yeah, and
officers.
if you count the 3 of you, then it would be 66 Cloaked Rangers.
Which I'm not, because
And
the
we do
bronze
keep
toads
either
I'm
wandering
counting are
off or-
separate.
we do keep wandering off or dying. We as in us collectively. So that number does drop every once in a while.
I have never died
Not once.
that I know of.
Very well.
You all see Doran actually look up and think a little bit, and then look back forward.
Now, is there anything you're not telling me about the situation? the city, the Cloaked Rangers, the Queen, any of this?
We just set up an alliance with the Church of the Rock via us and me. So we have that as a small alliance that is starting to bud, to have more people on our side and help grow it. With some rules and restrictions, such as in the Direwood, where we create, the Church of the Rock stays. We are allowed to practice and have churches in the city.
I don't know how my superiors are going to feel about that.
One or two churches in the city is really a deal breaker.
As a follower of Mistra, I myself would be upset if there was no place to worship.
Well,
My own religion.
worship is fine. If you've been to the Hall of Prayer in Priests, we allow all kinds of worship. However, the Church of the Rock, as I understand it, there are whispers of it, of a cult, a dangerous cult that worships terrifying god of purple rock and slaughters and, commits terrible crimes
The god
against
is quite
humanity.
terrifying.
There
form
are
of
terrible
is, yes.
things. There are terrible things. He looks to you, Doran. I apologize. These are whispers and rumors, but the hysterian cult, as I've heard it, is not smiled upon in priests.
Well, that's because a lot of people don't trust it. There are people in the church that we have gathered are villains, and we will take care of them as needed. However, most people in the church are genuinely good people who believe in Iraq and believe in non-violence and peace across the world. We have nothing. We have no wants.
So there are no
As
sacrifices.
I got a rock shoved into my chest, but I've never seen a sacrifice.
That's reassuring. Bess?
as a cleric and not an expert, but being well versed in religious matters myself, those that do worship the rock are gaining spiritual, magical abilities from their worship. As a cleric would only be able to perform healing capabilities through the powers of their deity. It is the same way with those who follow the Church of the Rock.
So there is merit to this religion.
Yes,
Good to know.
without question.
Speaking of religion, Bess, how did you come across Mistra? Did you follow, or is it Mistra? Did you follow in Zimmer's footsteps?
Well,
Did you know he worshipped Mistra for some time?
I guess I never consciously knew, but all the information I ever got was from his stuff that I've read from. Oh dear,
What? Oh dear.
that's best.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
Say,
just realizing.
"Oh,
Oh dear. Oh. He nods. He was.
Have you ever thought about how your entire life is a lie?
He was a devout but quiet follower. I'm sure he had much literature, but few words to say on the matter.
I read a lot of what he had. A lot of what he had. That's how I came to Mistra.
Before he began to change, he would speak of her in his close circle. I heard a few things here and there. He was devout, but because he was so quiet about it mostly, it's just another reason I didn't see the changes happening. I'm sorry. Now, back to Direwood and priests. I understand you have your suspicions. They aren't without merit, but I will do what I can to be as honest as I can with you, when I can, about what priest wants and what is in your best interest. But in return, I would hope you would do the same for me.
I actually kind of hold up my hand at my best when he says my best, our best interest. Let's put it this way. I don't, honestly, if I die for the better good of Direwood, that doesn't bother me. You have to give me your word here, that you will do what's best to help the people here who have done nothing wrong and just want to see the city back to where it was.
So long as it is conceivably, even barely, within the parameters of my orders, absolutely.
Then I have no reason to not trust you.
Good.
I tend to trust people who can kill me. I keep them at arm's length, which is what I've been doing with you, but I trust you because if you wanted me dead at this moment, I would be dead, wouldn't I?
Not at this moment, but within a few, he says.
But-
He smiles a little bit, but you can tell he's serious.
I mean, but at any point, if you had wanted me dead before I came into this room, I would be dead. You have way more men than I can handle myself. I can teleport and turn invisible, but I would have died.
He looks Bess up and down, then Alistair, then Six, then you. You see him he kind of plays with his fingers a little bit. He looks like he's kind of thinking, if I wanted you dead, I could
Don't
have
let
it
my
done.
looks deceive you.
Please let my looks deceive you.
He smiles. If I wanted you dead, if I wanted any of you dead, I could probably have it done. But whoever... It would be messy. It would be messy. He would be a problem, he says, pointing at Six.
Oh, yes, you would.
And so would you, he says, pointing back at Doran. But I could have it done if I really wanted, but I have a feeling if I did so and you linked it back to me or any of my men, you would slaughter half of them before the fight was over. And I'm not willing to do that. To them.
And I don't want to... I'm not a fan of killing people. I've only killed 2 actual people in my entire life.
In your line of work, that's impressive.
I tend to leave the killing to people who aren't terrified of it.
Very well. Now, I will say, please,
Bye, Shade.
these matters, they stay here. I don't intend to be particularly secretive, though often I am. As he looks to Bess and Six, as ranking members in a military hierarchy, you must understand that there are some things best left unsaid to your subordinates, for the sake of the mission, and for the sake of security, for the sake of whatever your future goals are. I would hope you would refrain from speaking of such matters around my men. They're loyal, and they're good people. All of them. Most of them, actually. Some of them are kind of dicks, but they all intend, they mean well. And I don't want their consciences getting in the way of performing whatever tasks are asked of them. Because sometimes, for the greater good, you have to do something you don't want to. As I'm sure you're all familiar.
I'm familiar with a lot of things.
Very well. And with that,
Oh, since we are being completely honest, the reason why the commander didn't come to meet you himself is because he wanted to better understand the intention of the Pretians before meeting face to face.
I would probably do the same thing. I hold no grudge for this. But
Could you
I
guys
would like
hear
to
the
meet him.
thundering of the cats? Because they're running around.
Could you hear like one of my parents' cats when she was in this room? She was
he
just
continues.
screaming.
I
I-
couldn't hear her.
I would like to meet this infamous Commander Light, as I've heard his name is. Don't tell him I know that, though. I think that would, from what I've heard, piss him off.
So tell him, got it.
He's got quite the reputation within inner circles and priests, but I think it's time to move on. I think we should get some rest, prepare for whatever greets us in the morning. I'll have guards positioned already. You'll be quite safe here. Is there anything else you wish to know of me?
No, but I do have a question. You know the layout of this building. I've actually never stepped foot in here. Is there any rooms that lock from the inside so that, for my own peace of mind, I can make sure I know who's able to get into my room? Apart from this one.
My knowledge of the building is not that extensive, I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
I was simply given a layout, sort of a blueprint, roughly, that our scouts gave us, and that's mostly it.
I don't have a question as much as a request. My father works as the bartender for the New Republic. If we do ever end up storming that castle, please leave him be.
Barkeep. I'll keep that in mind. Though again,
He is mute.
a direct attack, a mute barkeep. Fair enough. If a direct attack is unlikely, there would have to be quite an incentive from my superiors in order for that to happen. But he nods. I'll keep that in mind.
I figured I'd just throw it out there in case.
Good. Now, I hope there's no further suspicions. I want to work with you as much as you probably want to work with me.
I
think we can agree on that.
Good.
I mean, I'll be real with you. I'm always suspicious of everyone.
As you should be.
That's kind of how I work. So, see, I don't think you're gonna kill me. That's a plus.
I don't currently plan on it.
If you do, I'll tell you this. Without these guys, I'm more of a coward than you think. I will run.
Well,
Why
With
do you
these
tell
guys,
everybody this, Doran?
with these guys, I will fight until I'm dead.
I think he probably tells people because he knows in most situations he could get away.
I have a feeling we have a Sam 2.0 in front of us.
And in most situations, I wouldn't actually run. It's more to make people think I would. It's kind of that whole thing. If they think I'm gonna run, they go in ready to chase me, and then I just stand in front, beat the shit out of them. It normally surprises them.
Huh. Good to know. Well then, again, we've all had a very, very long day. My belly is full of tea and roast duck. I am ready to sleep. I would presume you are all equally ready for this.
I am ready to be slept. Yes.
Very good.
Who
If
would've
there's
thought
anything
that
else you-
waterfowl is so tasty roasted.
If there's anything else you need from me, please do let me know. If you can set up a meeting between me and the commander, that would be fantastic. But in the meantime, I'm sure you all have your own matters to attend to. I'm sure you have the commander to report to. And
Yes.
I think we all have earned a rest for today. And he would
I do
go,
hope
he would
it's a long rest.
turn around, unlock the door, open it up. I will be in where I believe the barracks are, sleeping with the rest of my troops. Good night.
Good night.
And he
Good
leaves,
night.
and you're all left alone in the commander's old office.
Sleep tight.
Is there anything you'd like to do before we go to our long rest and wake up the next morning?
Sleep tight. Good night. Don't let the hysterium bite.
I'm gonna compose a message to send to Light.
Understood. While she's composing that, is there anything else you guys would like to do?
I would take time to pray to the rock.
Mm-hmm.
And in that prayer, insult and ask about the rat god and see if I can get any answers.
Make a religion check.
Please, baby, give me the first high roll of the night. God damn it!
With a 4.
Oh.
With a 4.
I rolled like trash all night.
Two things. Actually, it's kind of opportune that you rolled like trash for this. Two things. Firstly, you feel, back in the church, you felt a connection. Even if there was no response or anything, you felt a connection with the rock, or whatever it may be. But here, far away from any large deposits of hysterium, you realize, it's like it's there, but it's not. It's that feeling you had of prayer and having a connection from the get-go in the church isn't there. It's like, it's what Doran might have expected prayer to be before he started praying. You're just speaking to yourself in your head, or out loud. However, with this, you understand, perhaps you need a better way to communicate with your God. Perhaps you might need to learn how to commune with your God at will. And that's something you could work on.
Doran makes a note.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
Question for the DM.
Yes.
Was Doran around when the party came across Zelfur's partner who is pregnant?
That was... I think Doran was the only one who wasn't around. If I recall, I think it was really funny because everybody else was discovering this, and Doran was
Yeah,
elsewhere.
that was the one session Blake was gone.
Cause fuck, no one's told Doran. No one's told Zelfur. You guys have magic. No one's told
No,
him.
I wasn't there. Nobody told me, and I would have messaged Zelfur.
Has no one told Bess?
No one's told Bess.
I tell Bess right now.
I don't think there's any reason Sick would bring that up now.
I mean, he did mention the fish boy this day,
He did mention the fish boy.
which is hurtful. And I'll fucking kick your ass.
Bess, do you have the message?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
You distracted me.
Sorry, that's alright. You work on that message.
Alistair's gonna get to sketching his findings of earlier in the day.
Yeah, you can sketch it with some detail.
After prayer, Doran will find his rest
Yep. you can-
wherever he can.
Would you?
I'm also
you
gonna
can-
make a mental note of the guy who said that thing that I heard.
Yeah, you can make a mental note of his appearance.
Yeah.
You heard a thing?
Yeah, that 27 perception. It's what Bess said, basically. I overheard. I'd explain it to the group. I basically overheard a more decorated man talking to one of the lackeys who wasn't too happy to be here about becoming a massive military power.
Ah, that's not terrifying at all.
Yeah, not at all. It's definitely not why I brought it up to him. Bess, that was a very good interjection at the end of that speech. It's pretty good.
I bet that guy wasn't very happy.
Oh, he wasn't at all. I hope to find him.
I'd hope you find him too.
I'm gonna bully him in a nice manner.
Okay, well,
I'll
I
find
would-
a way.
that's good.
I would not bully him in a nice manner, so best you over me.
Would you bully him in a mean manner?
Yes.
Why?
Honestly, I don't know. Just because it's more fun.
Respectable. I think. Probably not. But duly noted.
But with that, Bess is composing a message. You all may sleep in the barracks. There's plenty of room, as it was once meant for many more people than are here now. Maybe not that many more. If everybody were to sleep in it at once, it would be fairly full, but people are on rotations for guard duty and such, so any of you could find a cot in there that would be comfortable enough. I know many of you slept in them before. Otherwise, there are plenty of rooms, empty rooms within the halls that served as storage, offices, private bedrooms for officers, etc. that you could find in, if you wanted some privacy.
I will open doors until I find the first bedroom I can, and I hope it's Sam's.
The first bedroom you can. If you do that as soon as you leave, you finish talking with everybody, you do that as soon as you
Yeah.
leave the commander's office. Do you turn left or right?
Right.
Right. You would find one, but
It's not Sam's.
in meta, Blake knows, Doran doesn't. It's not Sam's.
Fuck me.
Sam's was
Okay.
the first one to the left.
Fuck me! I remembered wrong. Because
I'd like to leave.
Stop, Jesse.
And take the first left.
No.
Start pissing everywhere. Mark the room. Mark the room.
Yeah,
This feels like a good place to get naked and rub my balls on everything.
yeah, so you all
Oh,
find your
damn
rest
it.
eventually. Bess will send a message. As Bess is about to tell me what that message is. Last call. Anything you guys would like to do before you sleep?
No.
Not for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
6? No, you're good. Then Bess,
I'm good.
if you'd like to give me that message.
Well,
Okay,
I
you
do-
said
I
that
do-
Willow was a colonel.
Yeah,
Yes?
Ramson Willows was a colonel. Is a colonel.
Was a colonel. He's dead.
Says, "Hello, it's Bess. Connected with Parisians. Went well. Tentative trust built. Genuinely intend to help Direwood. Want you to come meet Colonel Willow. Tomorrow, maybe?"
Okay. There would be a moment of pause, and the commander would respond. Tomorrow, I believe your mercenaries are due to arrive. I can meet them or you. Otherwise, meeting Tara next day. Well done. Thanks for report. And you can sense that he was going to continue, but doesn't know the confines of the spell well enough. So, like, I imagine it cuts off, like, the end of a voice message. He says, "Good work," and that's it.
Okay, I would relay to the party. So the commander says that tomorrow our mercenaries are due to arrive. He can meet them or we can meet them. He's supposed to meet Tara the next day. Should we meet the mercenaries and see if he can come here? Do we want
You finish.
do we want to rush? Would that be rushing things? Like, what are we thinking? Do we want to leave right now to go meet the mercenaries, like we said we would?
Or the thing is, do we want him here without protection from us or someone of his guard?
I don't assume he'd travel anywhere without his guard.
Okay.
Is there Doran a cake arriving tomorrow?
No, they're just mercenaries who we should pay and
Just
get to
mercenaries.
work.
Okay.
I have to be getting back in contact with Berlin to work on the cake.
Well, we could march north from here tomorrow, meet the troop of incoming mercenaries, kind of assign them some work, and then bring the commander back with us.
That's a lot of walking.
And you would also know, a couple of you have seen the commander fight before, and he held his own.
Okay.
Just
Well,
a note.
Let's.
I don't think we have
I
a
want
reason
to meet the
assume-
mercenaries like we said we would. I'd like to uphold our word in that way.
I kind of feel like we're being used as a meeting group. Go meet these guys. Nope, go meet those guys.
Well,
Well,
we're
to be
having
fair,
these
we did
people.
set up a lot of the meetings.
Fair point, fair point.
Okay, well,
So,
with that, you guys have some decisions to make as to who is
Okay.
going where and when. But in game, you will sleep on it. Out of game, you have a week to think about the house you want in Shinebright and how you want that to be. How you want to handle the mercenaries arriving and Tara and all these different things going on. Knowing that you can divvy out to Cloaked Rangers or ask the commander to do one thing while you do something else, knowing you have resources and now Pretian allies. You can think of what you want to have happen next, how you want things to go. You can think about your house, and you can all think about what your character wants next while they sleep through the night rather comfortably in the old Cloaked Rangers headquarters that is now the Pretian outpost just outside the city of Direwood. And with that, we will wrap up for tonight.